chilled and sort of laid back vibe down there the whole weekend. So
I mean, that's quite nice, to be honest.
Yeah,
isn't it?
well, especially I literally went away to go and recharge my batteries, and it was. Ooh, there we are.
We've got problems here. Technical hitch. My bad, guys. I do apologise for that. Anyway, right, Tom, please continue about your trip to Cornwall.
Sorry, what was that? I've gone deaf.
We are sorry about that, listeners. Small technical difficulty, but nonetheless, moving on with the show. Tom.
Exactly. But yeah, no, like I say, it was really, really nice. We went down to did a day trip to Foy, I believe. Say
Foy.
Foy is kind of. It's about half an hour away from where I was staying in St Austell, and then in between that we did that and Charleston, which is where they filmed the TV series Poldark. So they've got all the.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really nice. They had all the boats out and everything like that, and I got a little bit of the tin, like Cornish tin that they're famous for. So I come out one of the bars.
So you basically what you've done is you've committed theft.
Oh no, I paid for it. No, it was like there was an honesty box there. So it was a half a penny wrapped in a. I should have bought in really, but it was in a tin ingot, and someone just left them out overnight. And obviously, because around there, everyone's very honest, and they all talk like that. And it's like sort of, just if you want to pay.
We're from Dorset, ain't we?
I always saw a bit like that, and it's like, oh wait, it's people now are going to be like really kicking off.
Yeah.
If I do my Jeffro voice, I mean, me and Denthal Penberthy, they went on a Cornish crabbing boat and.
Oh, no.
And we're off.
It's a good thing Cornwall can't hear us.
Well, I don't know. They could be listening on the tuning app. You never know. There was a little tin ingot thing, and there was an honesty box, and you put £5 in, and you could take one, and that was it.
I love those little honesty systems.
Yeah.
You ever been to Kelvedon Hatch in Essex?
I don't.
It's a disused nuclear bunker.
I mean, that's one of the places you really want to be honest, isn't it?
It's really cool. I've been there a couple of times, and there's a rope runners nearby, so you can do like cool high wire stuff. It's a lot of fun. And I was just thinking the other day that, that's the perfect place I would have wanted to spend my coronavirus. And secondly, it's like that. It's all run on an honesty system. Yeah. You get a couple thousand visitors a month, I'd say. It's not very busy.
I mean, let's be honest. They could track you quite easily. I mean, all they need is a Geiger counter. So if you weren't honest, or someone's taken something. Hang on, let's find out. Yeah, it's you.
Oh my goodness! I've got to apologise today, and to you and to the listeners, because I don't know why, but I'm extraordinarily tired.
That's all right.
I'm trying to keep up with all the studio energy, but just my eyes are like.
He's literally if you just hear.
Don't worry. I genuinely, I'm that tired, mate. You have no idea. I don't know why. I got a good amount of sleep last night.
Well, should we talk about our favourite topic then? That'll probably wake us all up.
What favourite topic?
Oh, let's be honest. It's the one about everybody's favourite lovely coronavirus.
Oh, do you know what? Just thinking about that, I've been thinking about Donald Trump. I was watching the new Spitting Image, and
yes,
I wasn't super impressed by it. I wasn't laughing my pants off.
Really?
No, I found it more funny when I watched it the second time with my mum, because she was laughing at it, finding it hilarious. I think maybe if I watched it on its own, I would be a bit more cynical about it.
Yeah. I mean, what sketch did you see? Was it the one where he shrinks down?
Oh, no, I watched the whole episode.
Oh, really? Okay.
I watched 2 episodes, and I was just thinking, I didn't really quite get the Dominic Cummings alien thing.
Oh, yeah, where he's trying to... Is it okay if I eat the baby?
If I eat the baby, will you fire me?
No. It's like, of course you won't.
Oh, no, I don't think that'll be necessary.
No, it won't be necessary. No, is that the freaky bit is when his head starts pulsing.
Yeah, no,
he's
that's
communicating
weird.
with his own planet.
Oh, my goodness.
It's all about the larvae stages.
The larvae flourish when the hive.
Yeah, for their hexac. Was it? From their
hexagonal Yeah, something like that. Okay, right. Anyway, talking about we've got a new lockdown. No, let's focus on Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
Let's get it out of the way.
Yeah, let's move it out of the way, because we can move on to lockdown next.
Yes.
Donald Trump. What
else can be said apart from Donald Trump?
He's come out of hospital far too early, it would seem. He's had treatment which actually has restricted access under his administration's law. His treatment cost $1.5 million, and he's played it off as
a business
mere
expense?
cold. No, he's not paying tax on it. But nonetheless, his $1.5 million treatment that was tailored specifically to his body certainly is a good cure. But for many Americans and a lot of Trump supporters who seem in the working class demographic, who work in low-paid manufacturing jobs, which currently don't exist, for a lot of them, they're not going to be able to afford this treatment, and some of them will die from it.
Yeah, and that is a worrying thing, isn't it? Why, if he's got access to it, well, why can't they sort of reverse engineer it to make it accessible for the masses? And at the end of the day, that should be something he should be wanting to do.
Sorry, I'm interrupting the whole flow of it. But shout out to Georgia May, who's actually, do you know what? I might have just got her name, but nonetheless, shout out to Georgia, who is up in Kettering after getting a negative result from self-isolating from coronavirus. There you go, Georgia. Hope you're listening in. Anyway, yes. Yeah, Donald Trump, just an absolute joke. And Ivanka has tried to spin it. Donald Trump Jr. has tried to spin it. He's actually blasted his dad for his car ride, saying that wasn't like him. He could have used the COVID-19 pandemic, his illness, to turn it around and go, I actually empathize with you guys. I'm so sorry. But no, he's just gone, if I yell more, yes, good.
It gets done. Yeah.
Did you actually hear of this story? There's a story. Donald Trump wanted to go up the stairs looking really frail and have a cane, get to the top of the stairs and rip open his shirt to reveal a Superman jacket. Apparently he wanted to do that. This is a source from the White House.
I'm so glad he didn't, because let's be honest, Warner Brothers stock would have gone through the floor with that. It's like, oh no, he's wearing a Superman shirt, and it's now tanked.
It's not good, is it?
I mean, always going to need
not good.
You could just imagine it, couldn't you? Be going, I want John Williams and the London Philharmonic Orchestra. I want them to be, singing the Superman song or playing the Superman song as soon as I come out onto the balcony there, and you just think, no, mate, just accept the fact you got over
when
it.
I read that, when I read that, it was like the inject bleach thing, and I was like,
that's still stupid.
I still cannot believe that a sitting president told people to inject bleach.
There's people who I've seen, people with horrible injuries who have consumed bleach. I guarantee you now, they are not looking at that going, do you know what? I'm really glad I did that, because I've got rid of my coronavirus. Let me put it this way: it's condom companies do have to put statements out there saying, "Please don't you reuse condoms," and they say, "Well, why be?" And they're always not 100% effective.
Yeah, and they say, the condom companies replied and said, "Well, we say that because people do it."
Yeah.
Never before has a bleach company had to announce, "Please do not inject bleach into yourself." I don't think they ever thought they were going to have to make that announcement.
I just think for another 4 more of the years, they might have to.
No. There's no. I'm sorry. There's no way he can win. If he wins, it's shocking.
Well, Biden's got a 10-point lead at the moment,
which is a lot more than. There's a lot more than what's her name? Crooked Hillary. No, sorry, Hillary. Hillary Clinton had in 2016.
Yeah, but he's got 10 points in some of the. In some of the major states, and in his narrowest lead is only 3.8 points ahead of Trump. So at the moment, he's walking. He's running away with. He's doing really well, isn't he? I mean, it's still quite close, I believe, but obviously they've only got till November 3rd now. But I love the fact that Biden said, "Why don't we do the next debate virtually?" Which I think personally is a great idea. It goes back to what I was saying at the end of last week's show. As long as his messages are getting out. And whether it comes from him or a vice president or a representative or whoever, as long as the message is getting out of what they stand for, i.e. not a lot, it's okay. But Trump's rejected it, saying, no, it's got to be live. Like, I have to be there in person.
I don't understand why. It's because they can mute him if he won't shut up.
Oh, that would be nice.
That would be quite nice, though.
In fairness, quite a few people have actually said about that with me since I came on this show, if I could be muted. But
I don't think that.
Oh, that's one person. Thank you.
Well, put it this way, right?
I'm still here.
Donald Trump is lagging in the polls now. Downing Street has even gone so far as to abandon trying to woo Donald Trump. Ambassadors have been told to make contact with Joe Biden. They do not believe, the UK government does not believe he's going to win the election.
Yeah, I mean,
which is a big statement.
Well, and the special relationship has gone very quiet, isn't it, over the last year
recently
or so.
It has, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've not really been sort of backing each other and going, well, I believe that Mr. Trump is doing an amazing job. It's kind of stopped, isn't it? So.
Anyway, speaking of coronavirus, we might as well move on to things which are happening at home, don't you think?
Yes, yeah. We've got the brand new lockdown measures have come into effect.
Since the first time since March, I actually do understand.
Yeah, actually, they're coming into effect tomorrow, aren't they? It's Wednesday. They start.
Wednesday, Liverpool gets put into quasi lockdown with schools remaining open. with pubs remaining open if they serve meals.
Yeah, I've got the things here actually. So if anyone's a little bit unsure,
let's just before you do that, let's go with the statistics just real quick. Okay. In the last 24 hours, cases have gone up by 17,234, which is taking the total to 634,920 cases as of the UK. This figure is up from 13,972 on Monday, and coronavirus deaths have gone up by 143.
Wow.
Which is very tragic.
That's a big jump. Yeah,
I mean, that is a very big jump.
I think I looked on Sunday or Saturday and it was 87
the
24 hours previous. So it's
just got to say to everyone that me and Tom's thoughts are with the families of those who have lost loved ones from coronavirus, and we're very sorry that this has happened.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there is going to soon. There's going to be that sort of, not the rule of six, but there will be that 6 degrees of separation. I was saying on the way down here that a girl I used to work with, her name's Laura. Her son Mason has contracted coronavirus. He's absolutely fine. He's asymptomatic, but they're literally pulling each other's hairs out at the moment. But so I don't know if she'll be able to hear this or not. But Laura, I'm sending my best to you and to Mason. I hope you're all doing well as well. And just keep yourselves together, and you'll come out of it absolutely fine. So
because of the new coronavirus cases, 21% of secondary schools are now counted as not fully open, up from 18% the previous week and 8% in mid-September. This is because they have had to send pupils home due to coronavirus cases. 7% of primary schools have had to send pupils home, up from 5%. And this weekly figures from the Department of Education, based on responses from about 80% of state schools, shows overall attendance remaining about 90%. Now, the new lockdown restrictions will basically mean that schools will stay open no matter what the thing, which is an important factor in children's growing up. They need to be in school. It's the best place for them. Excuse me. We're having a little bit of a rambunctious day with the old voice box there. What I don't seem to understand is that pubs reopened in 24th of July. No spike in coronavirus cases.
No, 4th of July, I believe, was when the pubs opened.
You're right. Actually,
my pub was a week later,
4th of July, pubs reopened, no spike in infections. Eat Out to Help Out scheme for all of August, no spike in infections. Schools open, spike in infections.
It kicked off, I mean, there's also the other thing as well, is I think where the weather started to change, because there was the whole thing about people coming indoors, obviously with central heating and things like that. That could start driving cases and things like that up as well. But it's I mean, it is very, very odd. But then I suppose they've got to keep the kids in some sort of a routine, haven't they? And also, I mean, look what happened when they shut in March originally and everything was locked down, and the amount of aggravation and the ripples that were caused off of that, the after effects of that. Sorry, it was ridiculous. I don't think they could do that.
I think history will look back and think that a lockdown was not the way to go.
I mean, there was actually the talk, I don't know if you heard in the news today, that they were going to suggest a circuit breaker lockdown 3 weeks ago, and the government vetoed it.
Which is, I think, particularly a silly idea, because the scientific advisor said the 2-week circuit breaker would essentially stop people from transmitting the virus, but it wouldn't do so much damage economically. And they released the top-up wage scheme or whatever it is.
This is the new,
like the German Kampfschlagen job scheme thing.
Which this is the new replacement for the furlough scheme, isn't it?
But they've got a new furlough scheme now as well. It's got a 2/3 of the wages if you get put under lockdown. But only if you're under lockdown. But I mean, sadly, unemployment is going through the roof.
Well, we've got a new
unemployment is rising. It's the highest it's been.
Is it 683,000? I think I heard today.
No, there's massive redundancies going on, and I don't particularly see why you wouldn't just extend, because what you're going to have to do is you're going to try and do an economic recovery afterwards, rather than just keep the jobs, hold them until April. When a vaccine is released, when life can start to go back to normal.
But this was the thing, if I remember correctly. So the furlough scheme was brought in. Now, I might be completely wrong here. The furlough scheme was brought in to stop people from either being made redundant or losing their jobs.
Yes.
Now,
to tide them over.
And every company that has kept, for every person that, say, company A has kept on, they will then get £1,000.
That's the Christmas bonus.
Towards Christmas or January.
If you keep them on from now and from it was June until January, then you'd get £1,000 from the government for keeping that employee employed.
But then this is the thing: the furlough scheme's now ending, and companies are now making redundancies. So
What was the point of the furlough scheme?
Exactly, it didn't work. They already had it planned by the sounds of it. They were going to get rid of these people.
What
the
was
furlough scheme in that way hasn't worked.
I agree with you, because what was the point of keeping? I'm talking like Donald Trump with my fingers.
He's got the fingers.
What was the point? No, but this is true. What was the point of the furlough scheme rather than just putting people on beefed up universal credit if you were going to let those jobs go anyway? All you've done is wasted £40 billion.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, I mean, like the universal credit scheme, I mean,
it's ridiculous.
I'm not going to go into details with that, but I'll be brutally honest with you.
Universal credit, in my opinion, I don't think it's a very good system. I've watched a couple of documentaries and read a lot of documents on it, as well as papers from select committees, because I've been very interested in that whole system.
You have to jump through hoops to get a payment, and so far.
Yeah, firstly, you have to jump through several hoops to get a payment. You have to wait 4 weeks for your first payment. You can also, but if you can't wait 4 weeks, you can get a grant. You then have to pay that grant back out of your payment from the government.
Yeah, basically, it's a 1 month advance.
And then eventually, you have to pay back some of your universal credit payment.
Yeah. And that's
you want people to get back into employment, don't you?
It doesn't really help, does it? I mean, because I always remember when I used to have to go to the job centres back when I lost my mum, because I wasn't mentally, I was no way I could work. I was too angry and basically wanted to hate the world and tell it to go and take a walk. Not in those words, but they always did a thing that if you didn't find a job after 6 months, they would send you on a course to help you try and find work. Well, the thing is, and I don't mean in a horrible way, that they want you to take not your, like when you go like to say Battersea Dogs Home or whatever, and you find your forever home. These aren't forever jobs. They've got things like that. I always just say, all right, I want to either get into radio or I wanted to do voiceover or whatever. I thought I know exactly. I'm living the dream. But like I didn't want to just be, and I don't mean this in a horrible way. Yeah. I didn't want to be a cleaner or a standard. Like
and I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, I don't mean that in a horrible way. Yeah, obviously, I mean, there's
you have ambitions.
Exactly. Yeah, and also I don't mean this in a horrible way. I think I would have been overqualified for it, and it wouldn't have brought me any joy or anything like that. And again, I hope I haven't offended anybody who's saying by saying that.
Because some people, just me. Yeah, I think a cleaner is sort of a job you do because you need to make ends meet.
Yeah,
I think I don't think. I mean, some people they may love cleaning, and some people start businesses out of cleaning. And I say, good on them.
Exactly,
but some people just aren't built for it. Anyway, we've got to go to a short break. Do stay tuned, listeners. We'll be right back after these messages.
The new NHS COVID-19 app shows me my risk of coronavirus and helps me protect my mum.
It lets me know fast if I've been in contact with other app users who have coronavirus, so I can quickly warn Dan.
It shows me the risk level in my area immediately, so I can tell Sue.
It helps me protect all my loved ones, like Kim and Chris.
The more of us who get the app,
the better we can control coronavirus.
Protect your loved ones.
Get the NHS COVID-19 app.
Download now at Google Play or the App Store.
You have one new message.
Can you please help us? We are running out of food.
We have many requests like this on a daily basis. Join us and help us keep families together. During this pandemic, many vulnerable and elderly people here and abroad need our support. Our teams are risking their lives to help save others, but we need your support. Call us now on 0114 365 4454 or visit us at familysrelief.org.
I wash my hands to protect my family.
I wear a face covering to protect my mates.
I make space to protect my colleagues.
Hands.
Face.
Space.
I wash my hands to protect strangers.
I wear a face covering to protect other passengers.
I make space to protect you.
Hands.
Face.
Space. As we spend more time indoors, we need to do whatever we can to help protect each other from coronavirus. So please, wash hands, cover face, make space.
Nikah, talaq, counseling on matrimonial disputes, Islamic wills, Islamic law of inheritance, or an Islamic verdict on any other issue. The Muslim Sharia Council is at your service. We provide official certification, and our experienced and highly qualified imams are available to provide you with guidance when needed. MQI London is based at 292 to 296 Romford Road, Forest Gate. We are open from Monday to Friday, 2 to 4 p.m. or alternatively, call us now on 0208 257 1786.
Turkish Kitchen.
the best Turkish food you'll ever taste. We only use the highest quality meat. Along with our mixed grill platters, we serve cold mezes, hot mezes, lahmacun, and a wide selection of fish options. To order for delivery or collection, call us now on 0208 507 8822. That's 0208 507 8822. Or visit us at 41 Ripple Road, Barking, IG11 7NT. We can also take group bookings and take care of all your party needs. The Turkish Kitchen, Barking.
I came over from the Caribbean on my mother's passport in 1962. So when my right to live here was questioned, it broke me. I was afraid, and to be honest, I was skeptical about calling the Windrush Help Team. But my husband persuaded me, and I'm so glad I found the courage. The team have been really great. Now I've got the right documents and compensation too. It doesn't change what happened, but it helped. To find out if they could help you too, visit gov.uk/Windrush Help Team.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk. Alternatively, contact our sales team now on 07944 56 5616. That's 07944 56 5616.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
on your mobile.
And online.
Hello, you're listening to Revive FM 94.0. My name is Henry Scott, and welcome to the Drive Time Hour with my wonderful co-host
Tom Hutchinson.
And welcome. Remember, we're a call-in studio. If you want to call in, the number is 0333 444 0940. That's 0333 444 0940. You can also WhatsApp us on the same number. And remember to check out the website and tune into 94.0. How smooth was that?
I mean, that was so smooth. That was so smooth. It was a capital S. That's how smooth it was.
Okay. Okay.
I don't. Smooth with an S. You just think because you look like you had to think about that. So like,
I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it. Anyway, excess, very sad, more sad news because it's a bit of a sad hour, to be honest.
I know.
Coronavirus cases.
I'll pack it up for part
all of
two.
the coronavirus cases in Europe are now outstripping coronavirus cases in North America, which really says something.
Really?
Yes.
Now, I'll be honest with you, because America was going up to be number one. They were, yeah. So, I mean, but it does say, I mean, what is the difference? Because I was going to say,
basically, we are now having all European countries. That's the continent, not just the EU. European continent is now, every country in the European continent is now experiencing higher cases than those of the entire North American continent. So just the US, Mexico, and Canada.
Wow.
I mean, so that really does say something, to be honest.
I know. You hear that thing of it's going to get worse before it gets better. Well, I mean, I know that this is the second wave that everyone was dreading about, but I mean, there's got to be a turning point at some point, isn't there? There has got to be something. I mean, that vaccine, I know they're saying the vaccine's not going to be coming until next year, but there's got to be something that doesn't involve a lockdown or something like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, an elimination strategy works, but no one's buying that, are they? Anyway,
the elimination
one thing. We've got a shout out to Georgia, who's in Kettering, who's recently got a negative coronavirus test and come out of isolation. So she wasn't listening earlier. So I just shouted her out again. Hi, Georgia.
She's not now. We're not doing a third time. She's missing a chance.
No. If you weren't listening that time, Georgia, I'm sorry. You can just rewatch it on YouTube.
Exactly.
Nonetheless, anyway, moving on. Basically, I was looking at Twitter for the live reaction, as Twitter is a good place to find it, for people's reaction to the new coronavirus restrictions which were put in place yesterday. So I was on Twitter and I posted something I said, for the first time in since March, I actually understand the coronavirus restrictions. I actually understood them.
Right.
Very simple 3-tier system, very good.
Yeah.
I don't think some of the restrictions that goes far enough. And this bloke called Jeremy Hume, who's a data scientist from Wales and Scotland, and he says the UK, even in his bio, the UK government's response to coronavirus has been the biggest overreaction in British history. Now, I was a bit like, okay, let's have a look. And he said, he basically replied to my tweet and says, the so-called new normal in which Boris Johnson dictates how many people you can interact with is dystopian. Am I the only one who is genuinely more worried about government overreach than a virus with a 99.5% recovery rate? That's true. It's a very valid point. We do have a 99.5% recovery rate in the UK. It's very good because we have access to first very economically developed medical care, and it's also available for everyone.
Yeah.
Problem is, 99.5% recovery rate still means that 0.05% of people who get this virus will die.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks 0.05%, that's tiny. Right. Now scale the numbers up. Population of Britain is 67.8 million, and 0.05% of that is 3.3 million.
Yeah.
That's why you don't pursue a herd immunity strategy, because and your mortality rate would start to go up anyway if you just let it all flood at once.
Yeah. And we're on, what was it at the moment? About
46,000 deaths.
46,000 deaths.
Yeah.
So potentially with that, they could be looking at, I mean, not that this is going to, we hope it's not going to happen, but it could be 3.3 million by the end of this.
Yeah, but I would say it's unlikely we'll reach that number.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it depends on factors like if we all go back into a full lockdown again, if social distancing measures start to actually buckle. I was going to say, or even in certain areas start to take effect as well, because there's some people who are still flouting it.
The problem is in schools. I would say I think personally the problem is schools, and I don't have any scientific basis behind that, other than the fact that cases started to spike when schools open.
Yeah, I mean, what was
perhaps it is a balancing act.
Well, like what was the say, like, I don't know, did they ever say a time of like when the schools reopened the cases starting to go back up again?
The cases started once we got the initial wave down. The cases got to very low levels, like 300 a day. We're doing really well. We did a lot better than Europe for a long time. But then we've seen a spike that's gone faster than Germany and France. We took a while for our cases to come down. We were in lockdown for a lot longer than any other country.
Yeah,
and we're underperforming in Europe by a big margin. We're underperforming by a big margin.
Says a lot, doesn't it?
We're the worst affected in the G20, which is the group of 20 largest economies in the world.
Yeah.
So there is a genuinely big disparity between what's happening to Britain now and what was happening to Britain in March, and that always seems to be the case. We've got new testing issues. We've got all these problems.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that there are people still having issues getting tests. That's still a worry.
And the contact track and trace system apparently has been deemed by scientists marginally helpful. And apparently, it's not effective at all. Do you know what's worse is in the continent of Ireland? Just like the Republic of Ireland, their contact track and trace system has cost £773,000 and works really well. Ours has cost £10 billion and doesn't work.
Goes to show you, though, doesn't it? It's not how much you spend; it's who you get to develop it.
And what I don't like particularly is that a lot of people have been given jobs just because they have good relationships with the government.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there's any wrongdoing there, but a good relationship does help.
Well, I tell you what, I actually had last. I had the fright of my life last night. So I was going to bed, and it was about 11:45, I'd say.
Yeah.
Watched like a few YouTube videos and stuff like I normally do, or I either do that or I read a book. And all of a sudden, I get a message come up on my phone and it's the COVID track and trace app. And I can't remember the exact words, but it was something along the lines of, open the app for potential, like, it was almost like saying you've come into contact with someone who's had COVID. And I thought, this isn't right. I thought, don't say that I've gone down to Cornwall, I've come out and someone's got it, because now I'm panicking. So I quickly opened it up thinking, okay, and there's nothing. There's nothing on the app. There's no messages. There's no nothing. So I thought, right, I'm going to Google this and just have a look to see, is it something that I'm missing? Have I got the wrong end of the stick entirely?
Yeah.
And apparently it's a bug in the app, which effectively it shouldn't be
positive.
there. Yeah, effectively like a false positive, but it's effectively the data being uploaded to, I guess, the servers or the National Office of National Statistics or anything like that, wherever it goes to. And that's where it's kind of harvesting the data to send out to the main hub. So, and that message always comes up when it's doing it. So I had the fright of my life last night thinking, oh no, have I got to now self-isolate for 14 days because of this? But luckily it's a false alarm. And if anyone does get that message late at night, that's it. It's not anything to panic over. Obviously, if you get it during the daytime or whenever, that's when you need to wait. But the app will change. But yeah, I won't lie. I didn't go to sleep for a little while because I'm thinking, my God, have I come into contact with someone who's got it? I mean, it's those little bits you think, come on, sort it out. This is why the public is having problems trusting the government at the moment, because you get little Little hiccups like
Just,
that.
it seems to be we were on a ship that was being built as a sieve.
A ship that's been built as a sieve. That sounds like something like Brian Cox would say.
Yeah, in other words,
it feels like a ship that's been
our
built
country
as a sieve.
is a ship that has been designed like a sieve.
Mm.
You know, it's just going to sink.
Yeah.
And currently, I feel like that's what we're doing.
It's basically what you're saying is it's full of holes. Effectively, it's not really going to be buoyant, is it? I know I think, like I've said before, that they are cherry picking the best bits of every other country's reactions,
and we're not doing it well.
And they're not, and they're not. It's not gelling. It's simply not gelling. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I don't see why we can't just copy another country's strategy entirely.
Because then we would be made a laughing stock because we can't think of our own things.
Who cares about plagiarism? Our plagiarism is a compliment to another country, and if it works for somebody else, why would you not try and make it work for your own country? It's like South Korea's they really do handle the suppression mitigation strategy very well. We're doing a terrible job.
Yeah. Well, have you seen? Speaking of South Korea, have you seen North Korea? Apparently, Kim Jong-un has done a
military missile parade late at night.
Oh no, I wasn't even talking. No, I wasn't even talking about that. I mean, that's the firecracker thing is just another thing. I mean, that's going to be the next big thing we'll have to worry about. Oh God, Kim Jong's got nukes. But he did a speech. I only saw it today, just so again as I was getting ready to come in, I was just like last little bit to make sure I've got everything. And apparently he's gone out onto a balcony somewhere. Stop me if you've heard this before. Ripped open a shirt and it was Superman underneath. But no, I'm joking. I
thought I was dreaming for a minute.
You're having deja vu. See, he needs to go home now, kids.
I'm not just because I'm younger than you does not mean you get to treat me like a 3-year-old.
I'm just if I start putting lullabies on,
let's not go. Let's not go there, Tom, or I'll start making old person jokes.
Oh, don't worry.
Then we won't be happy, will we?
We'll see. But anyway, so he's done a speech and he's apologized for the way he and his administration has handled the coronavirus in North Korea.
What, by just, if somebody's got it, just shoot them?
Yeah, or feed them to the dogs or something like that. But apparently he broke down on the thing. So a lot of people are going, oh my God, he's actually admitted a fault for the first time in his run as supreme leader.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but then others are going, it's staged. It's all to get support and this, that, and the other. And I think you could almost sometimes kind of look at it as a way of he's trying to indirectly ask for help because he can't ask for help, if that makes sense. Because obviously they don't have many allies and they don't do trade with anyone effectively. I think China is probably their
China
biggest...
does it illegally as well.
Yeah,
they've got sanctions.
Well, did you see the Michael Palin documentary to actually get
North Korea?
Yeah, to get in from China to North Korea, it's one train. You have to stop halfway on this bridge. And they will literally send over all the North Korean passport control, dogs, you name it, just to make sure that the train can keep on going that few extra 100 yards, to get into, because they're literally separated by a river. It's like if you imagine the I don't know if everyone's ever seen the Los Angeles River. It's been in Greece, it's been in Transformers. It's that sort of sewage subway system that's like got a really tiny little trickle of water down it. It's effectively like that. That's what separates North Korea and China. And I was stunned at that. I really thought there'd be some sort of big. I mean, I wasn't picturing like the demilitarized zone, but I was thinking something more than just a train track and a river.
So it's like in Berlin.
That's true. Well, I suppose they used to have a wall, didn't they? I mean,
yeah.
There's a pub now apparently where there's a bit of that wall in there.
That's quite cool.
It's in the men's room. I mean, it's not really one of the places you really want to have a bit of history like that. Is there sort of normally you get things like newspapers up in when you go into the men's room. So this is the part of the wall that was knocked down in 1990. Really? I think we're going a little bit doolally today. I think
we're both going a little bit crazy. We've
gone from Trump to Corona to now talking about the Berlin Wall in a men's room somewhere in Germany.
What's the show coming to?
I know, it's great.
Anyway, I need to do I think I might do some jumping jacks in the break now. I'm that tired. Tired. I will. It can just keep the live stream on. Do some jumping jacks. Anyway, basically, it's all going wrong.
So we're still going fun. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. How long have we got there for?
We've got about a minute, mate.
Right. Okay.
Well, actually, about 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Right. When we come back, then I'll go through this. We're going to basically go through all the new lockdown restrictions because if you are a little bit unsure, obviously we need to make sure that everyone knows to do it right.
Yes, we will go through the lockdown restrictions.
Yeah. So let's do that, and then we've got loads of other things. And also, I'll tell you why I've bought this little bad boy in as well.
Ah, very nice. Okay. Right. Nice one. Right. Cool. Do stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Tom will be going to a break, but we'll be right back after these messages.
मिनहाज वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन में आपका अतिया जिंदगी की उम्मीद आपकी मदद से मुमकिन हुआ। दुनिया भर में 30 लाख से ज्यादा खवातीन, बुजुर्गों और बच्चों तक साफ पानी की फ्राहमी, मुतासरा इलाकों में हंगामी इमदाद, यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चों की दादरसी। इस साल हम आपके ताउन से और आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं। अपनी ज़कात, सदकात और खैरात के जरिए इन मंसूबों का हिस्सा बनिए। अभी कॉल कीजिए 0300 3030 777 या हमारी वेबसाइट विजिट करें www.minhajwelfare.org.
Here at Duncan Lewis Solicitors, we specialize in immigration and family law. We have a proven track record of successful applicants who we've helped secure permanent residency for. From spouse visas to seeking asylum, our expert advisors will assist you throughout the whole application process. We offer a free no obligation consultation, so call us now on 0208 432 3350. That's 0208 432 3350, or visit us at 298 Romford Road, London, E7 9HD.
People of Asian and Black ethnic origin are at an increased risk of COVID-19. Queen Mary University London has launched a research study called Covidence UK to find out why this is. If you are Black or Asian, we need your help to complete our studies. All you need to do is complete an online survey. Please help us to understand the coronavirus disease so we can develop tools to prevent it. Sign up at qmul.ac.uk/Covidence. Sign up and save lives.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk or contact our sales team now on 07944 565616. That's 07944 565616. Advertise with Revive FM.
If you're looking for a unique bespoke cake made especially for your big day, then look no further. Here at Sugar Sprinkle Cakery, we design some of the most imaginative and delicious home-baked cakes for your special occasions. We do fresh cream, buttercream, eggless and vegan cakes. Check us out on Instagram or Facebook at Sugar Sprinkle Cakery, or just call 07932 665 833. That's 07932 665 833.
Looking to get your finances in order? MR Accountants has you covered. We provide a full range of accountancy and taxation services, including annual and management accounts, self-assessment tax returns, VAT, bookkeeping, and payroll services. We ensure you're kept up to date with the latest legislation, and our client-focused approach helps us plan your business finances from savings to investments. We are MR Accountants. Visit our website at mraccountants.com or call us on 0203 432 9138.
Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences provides quality Islamic education for children aged between 5 and 15 years old. As well as teaching classical Islam, including Tajweed, Fiqh, Seerah, and Aqidah, we endeavour to equip children with essential Islamic manners, morals, and values. Here at MSIS, our experienced teachers create an inspirational learning environment where we strive to cater for the needs of every child. For enrolment inquiries, inquire in person at Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences, Monday to Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. at 292-296 Romford Road, or email admin.edu_London@minhajuk.org.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
on your mobile.
And online.
Hello, you're listening to Revive FM 94.0. My name is Henry Scott, and I'm here in the studio with the wonderful
Tom Hutchinson.
And okay, that was really
because I always sound like Peter Dixon every week. I feel like I need to pick a new voice to change.
Tom Hutchinson.
I was slightly out of breath.
Yeah, I was thinking. In the break, me and Tom decided some good old exercise would get our blood pumping again.
But we like the two old old gymnasts from
Yeah,
Family
no,
Guy.
I got down, did 10 push-ups and then 10 jumping jacks, and I feel a little bit more alert, but I'm still knackered.
I know. Well, I've done.
It's
10,
really bad, isn't it?
I've done 10 burpees, or as the Mancunian motivator calls them, satsumas. So they're cause everything's obviously orange related. So it's So I'm slightly breathless now, but hey, it's nice to know I can still do them after all this time.
It's all right, isn't it? Doesn't
I know.
matter.
And
Anyway,
it's all to the was it that thing in Family Guy? They're done to the new pressings of this new rhythmic thing called jazz.
It's like sneak jazz.
For those who don't know, it's basically a Rick and Morty thing.
Yeah,
it's either that or human music. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh no! Let's not go.
We'll be singing that all day.
We're going to get
otherwise.
really distracted. We can talk about Rick and Morty in the next second hour. Anyway,
let's do it. Let's do it, Rick.
No,
I mean Morty.
What? I'm Rick, man. Just no, I'm joking.
Of course, you're Rick Sanchez. Of course, you are.
Okay. Right. It's time to talk about the new lockdown restrictions. Something we've been putting off for about 40 minutes now.
I'm locked up, won't let me go.
Yeah. Anyway,
music.
New coronavirus restrictions, me old man.
Yes, I've got them right here.
So do I.
Yes. All right. So let's go. So, basically, the areas in tier 1. So
let's only go through the ones in London because we'll be here a while.
Right. So that will be mostly tier 2. Then, am I right? I believe.
Well, put it this way: Newham is in tier 1.
Okay.
Essex is in tier 1, but wants to be upgraded to tier 2.
Yeah. Well, Thurrock does, but yeah, it could be going out worldwide. It could be going out county-wide.
Essex County Council said they wanted to
to do it. So basically, the ones who are in tier 1. So as I say, so for sort of London and Essex at the moment, it's the rule of 6 that can be both indoors and outdoors. Pubs, bars, and restaurants have to close at 10 p.m. on the dot. So that's where we're at the moment. Now, the next one is for areas that are tier 2. So you have the rule of 6 continues. The rule of 6 only continues outdoors. So you can't meet up indoors then. That means you are limited to whoever's in your household, no mixing or anything like that. And that's basically it. Otherwise, it's still the same thing. Pubs, bars, and restaurants have to close at 10. And then the rule of 6 changes so that it's only now to outdoors. Most of England are already subject to local restrictions being in place. They're currently tier 2. So that's the majority. I think the only ones this doesn't count for as well is central Scotland. So it's parts of Edinburgh and Glasgow who are basically, they're effectively in full lockdown, really. So the new one, now this is for areas that are very high. So you have medium, high, and very high. So very high, which is now tier 3, it will be all, this is effectively the local lockdown. So you have Liverpool are currently getting this. Do you know, I heard on the way back from Cornwall yesterday. So to trigger a lockdown, it's 40 cases in every 100,000. Did you hear their number?
800 or something, 400?
600 per 100,000.
I've been really confused about that because there's been lots of areas in the UK where they have gone to the level of what should be a local lockdown, but they haven't had a local lockdown. Newham recently surpassed 40 cases per 100,000. They went into all the way up to 80. That would have demanded a local lockdown, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
It's very, but then I suppose it's the whole Portugal thing, isn't it? Remember they just took Portugal off of the safe list, do you remember? And then it was like they were just slightly over. And then they said, well, we're going to monitor it first, because you can't keep taking them on and off, on and off, on and off. And then it was like, no, it's really creeping up. Right, they're back on it again. Yeah. So that was how it works. So I think that's what they're trying to do. They try and give the areas the benefit of the doubt. See if they can get them down. If they don't, then they've got to take them up. But basically the new tier 3. So this is happening at the moment in Liverpool, Knowsley, Sefton, the Wirral, St Helens, and Halton. They're the only areas currently facing tier 3 restrictions. So this is from tomorrow, from the 14th of October. Pubs and bars will have to be closed except where serving substantial meals.
Yeah.
Which it really confuses me.
It's going to be like that line from in between is, well, I'd like 3 ciders and 3 Carvery dinners, please.
Yes, that's what's going to happen. I'm telling you. So if you have a meal, and the other thing I heard something like, it will only count if you have salad. You have to have salad with your meal. I don't know how that works.
Right,
there's a loophole. I mean, if there's any lawyers listening who'd like to express that loophole to us, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Something I find quite interesting, though, is that did you know that in your group of 6, you're supposed to social distance or do you use the 1 meter plus rule?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's because it's.
I didn't know that you in your group of 6. I think a lot of people assume that in their group of 6 they do not have to social distance and they don't have to wear a mask.
It's if it's let's say it's 2 and 2 from households. So 2 households and there's 2 people in each. So you've got the 4. the 2 people in household A don't have to social distance. The 2 people in household B don't have to social distance, but you can't have one from household A mixing with household B. You've got to have 2 meters apart. I don't know why, but I suppose they have to try.
In England, apparently the rule is 1 meter plus, so 1 meter with a face mask.
Yeah, they dropped it to 1.5.
Currently, we're around about 3 meters apart, so we're okay.
So we're good in that respect. So for the tier 3 restrictions, you've got pubs and bars will have to be closed except where serving meals. Households cannot mix indoors or outdoors. Gyms, leisure centres, betting shops, and casinos will all have to close. But shops, schools, and universities will remain open.
I don't understand that. A lot of these new cases are coming from university outbreaks. And a lot of the teaching's online anyway, and the cases are still going up, and that's because university students are mixing.
Yeah, but
it's not like you can stop them.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, was it in Nottingham University 770 cases? They've actually had a full lockdown now. I mean, that was the joke from Spitting Image, wasn't it? Remember, well, we're getting really high cases in things. Well, it's Spitting Image. What have we done? We've locked them all up. Like, come on.
Great idea.
Yeah, great idea. And then there's old Priti Patel, isn't it? It's a hashtag vote winner.
We've increased the prison population by 30,000. Hashtag vote winner. Yeah.
It's like, yes, great. It's not. And then
perfect.
And then all of a sudden the
the larvae flourish in the hive mind.
Well, the larvae flourish in the hexagonal pods. People are going to be listening to this going, they've really lost it this week, haven't they?
We have really lost it. To be honest, I was a little bit disappointed in the first Spitting Image episode.
Oh, but do you know what though? I always say it's the same with like Doctor Who. You don't judge it on the first series when it's a new Doctor.
That is true. You've got to let it in. You've got to let them find their way.
Yeah,
it does actually take about a season for a new Doctor to sort of understand the Doctor.
Exactly. And the other thing as well is that this is kind of a British commissioned show, but it's obviously going out to America. They've got people like Billy West, who you might know from Ren and Stimpy, Futurama, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Phil Lamar, who's been in everything from Justice League and DC animated cartoons.
And Futurama, a couple of actors from Futurama as well.
John DiMaggio, Bender the Robot. Phil Lamar was also in Futurama as well. He was Hermes Conrad. So they've got to try and hit that sweet spot between the British humor and the American humor, which sometimes just it doesn't quite marry up.
No, it doesn't. So I found that with the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Very difficult to sort of hitch together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I thought was quite interesting about very high is that leisure and gyms, any closures or additional restrictions subject to consultation, which means even in a very high COVID alert, your gym can still be open. Your residential care is closed to external visitors but still open. Overnight stays are not permitted. Youth club and activities are permitted. Education's permitted. I don't understand how that's supposed to.
I suppose they'll try and look at it on a case by case basis, won't they? But
that's difficult, and the government's got lots of red tapes and bureaucracy and levels to go through before it actually ends up reaching someone who can tell them what to do.
I mean, in fairness, I think they're just trying to do everything to stave off a full lockdown.
The thing is, I don't think
sounds of it, that almost is.
I don't think they could do a full lockdown. I don't think there'd be enough compliance. I think a lot of people would just go, I can't stay at home.
Yeah,
I can't.
Yeah. But then this is the problem, and
I've got a job.
Yeah, but I can't keep. I'm boring myself saying it every week. We're in this situation because of us. That's the problem. We ignored it the first time round. That's why we went into the full lockdown.
Well, to be honest, a lot of people didn't ignore it first time round. Lots of people were calling for a lockdown. Rory Stewart was among the first person to saying we should all be going home.
Yeah,
and if we'd listened to him, if we'd locked down 3 weeks earlier, we would have been Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, there might not have been as many.
Wouldn't know. There'd been far less deaths, less damage to the economy, a shorter lockdown. We would have got cases down much sooner. If we'd pursued mass testing at the start. And you know what? We do have to give the government credit that it's very easy to say all of this in hindsight. But lots of other countries were able to handle this much better than we did.
Yeah.
So I am surprised by that.
But it is still unprecedented. That's the thing.
Yeah, that is the thing. You can't deal with you can't deal with an unprecedented situation like it is precedented.
Yeah.
That's the difficult thing.
Well, I mean, the other thing I was actually going to bring up as well, seeing as we're still on coronavirus, and don't worry, we won't be for much longer, I promise. There was, the whole thing about Trump going, I'm now immune, I've had it, I'm done.
It's not true.
Exactly. Well, there's actually, I've got a story here. Funnily enough, it was a man in the United States, but not that one. Has caught COVID for a second time, and the effects on him are actually more dangerous the second time round than the first time. So I've got the rundown. The man's from Nevada. He's obviously not wished to be named, but basically he was having problems getting oxygen into his lungs. So this is his breakdown of how it happened. All right. So 25th of March, his first wave of symptoms, including a sore throat, cough, headache, nausea, and diarrhea. April 18th, he tests positive for the first time. On the 27th of April, so 9 days later, his initial symptoms are fully resolved. So he's okay. The 9th and the 26th of May,
Test negative.
Test negative, yeah, on 2 occasions. 2 days later, on the 28th, he develops the symptoms again, this time including a fever and still then the headache, dizziness, cough, nausea, and diarrhea. June the 5th, he tests positive for a second time and is now hypoxic, which means he has low blood oxygen and shortness of breath. So it says scientists say that the patient caught the coronavirus twice, rather than the original infection being dormant and then coming back for a second, like for bouncing back. A comparison of the genetic codes of the virus taken during each bout of the symptoms showed that they were too distinct to be caused by the same infection. Now, the other thing that reading that, this thing's evolving.
Oh yeah, no, we knew that.
It's not the same
It's
virus.
not the same virus that we
year.
And certainly the first virus that spread across China is long gone. It's a European strain of the virus.
Yeah.
Interestingly, fun fact for you, the virus seems to be evolving past masks.
Really?
Yeah, because obviously only few particulates will. If everyone wears a mask, the smaller particulates which can filter through the N95 filter will survive and then reproduce. So therefore, every time we wear a mask, the virus gets smaller.
Oh dear.
I don't know if that's particularly true, but there was a study recently from Spain that showed it was evolving to get past masks, which basically would render everything impossible.
How long is it going to be before us start getting that sort of liquid plaster tape and start taping?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Actually, don't give Trump any ideas. That'll be his next thing.
We've got to go to a break. Please stay
tuned. We'll be right back.
Yeah, please stay tuned. Me and Tom will be right back after these messages.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk or contact our sales team now on 07944 565616. That's 07944 565616. Advertise with Revive FM.
Super Best Meze Grill, the Turkish restaurant where all our food is prepared to perfection. Our mixed grill family platters include lamb shish, chicken shish, Adana kebab, lamb ribs, chicken doner, chicken wings, and lamb chops. And all are served with rice, salad, along with a selection of our cold mezes. To see our full menu, go to superbestmezegrill.co.uk. For the perfect dining setting, visit us now at 21 to 23 Broadway, Stratford, E15 4B, or call 0208 555 3335. Super Best Meze Grill.
Looking to get your finances in order? MR Accountants has you covered. We provide a full range of accountancy and taxation services, including annual and management accounts, self-assessment tax returns, VAT, bookkeeping, and payroll services. We ensure you're kept up to date with the latest legislation, and our client-focused approach helps us plan your business finances from savings to investments. We are MR Accountants. Visit our website at mraccountants.com or call us on 0203 432 9138.
ये आयशा है। ये बहुत छोटी सी थी जब इसके वालिद का एक हादसे में इंतकाल हो गया। वो अपनी माँ और छोटे बहन भाइयों के साथ रहती है। आयशा जैसी लाखों बच्चियां जिंदगी की बुनियादी सहूलतों से बिल्कुल महरूम है। यही वजह है कि वो स्कूल भी नहीं जा सकती। मिनहाज वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन ने आपके एहतियात और अपनी खिदमत दुनिया भर के यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चों के लिए वक्फ कर दी है। एक यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चे का सहारा बनिए। आज ही अतिया कीजिए।
अभी कॉल मिला 0300 3030 या हमारी वेबसाइट विजिट करें www.minhajwelfare.org.
With over 40 years experience in the industry, Plastic Carpets is the place to go for all of your carpets, laminates, linos and wood flooring. We have an established network of suppliers, which means we can offer some of the best prices in town. We offer free estimates and now even free fitting. Call us now on 0208 472 8568 or visit us at 157 to 159 Plastic Road, Upton Park, London E13 0QZ.
The new NHS COVID-19 app shows me my risk of coronavirus and helps me protect my mum.
It lets me know fast if I've been in contact with other app users who have coronavirus, so I can quickly warn Dan.
It shows me the risk level in my area immediately, so I can tell Sue.
It helps me protect all my loved ones, like Kim and Chris.
The more of us who get the app,
the better we can control coronavirus.
Protect your loved ones.
Get the NHS COVID-19 app.
Download now at Google Play or the App Store.
Here at Duncan Lewis Solicitors, we specialize in immigration and family law. We have a proven track record of successful applicants who we've helped secure permanent residency for. From spouse visas to seeking asylum, our expert advisors will assist you throughout the whole application process. We offer a free no obligation consultation, so call us now on 0208 432 3350. That's 0208 432 3350, or visit us at 298 Romford Road, London, E7 9HD.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
on your mobile.
And online. This is
Revive FM
94.0. With the latest news from around the world.
Numbers of cases and people being admitted to hospital. He says schools wouldn't need to close, but pubs, restaurants and non-essential offices would.
There's no longer time to give this Prime Minister the benefit of the doubt. The government's plan simply isn't working. Another course is needed.
The government has spent the day defending its decision not to impose a short lockdown 3 weeks ago when that was recommended by its own scientists. Pub landlady Kate Stewart reckons the idea wouldn't make much difference, though.
They'll do a national lockdown and then everyone will come back out and mix because they haven't seen each other, and then we'll be back in the same position that we are again. This is not just the hospitality industry this is affecting. There's taxi drivers, there's beauticians, there's makeup artists, hairdressers. They're not even mentioned. They're not even getting no help, no respite, and neither away.
2 million people who shielded during lockdown are being told they won't need to do so again. The government says it'll send new advice to vulnerable people, including those in areas with the highest rate of cases. A woman and 3 children from the same family have died in a crash in Oxfordshire. Their car hit a lorry on the A40 last night with a toddler among 2 others in hospital. A London council says a serious cyber attack is affecting many of its services. Officials in Hackney say they're working with the National Cyber Security Centre to investigate what happened. Cristiano Ronaldo has tested positive for coronavirus. The Portuguese superstar produced the results while on international duty and will miss Portugal's Nations League tie against Sweden. And Dominic West and his wife, Catherine Fitzgerald, have told reporters they are very much still together. It's after the star of The Affair was photographed with actress Lily James in Rome. The married couple kissed in front of photographers a little earlier. That's the latest. I'm Andy Hayes.
This is Revive FM 94.0.
Reviving communities.
The views expressed on this program do not necessarily represent those of Revive FM or its management.
Hello, you are listening to Revive FM 94.0. It is the second hour of your Tuesday drive time. My name is Tom Hutchinson. I'm here on a very wobbly chair in the studio with the amazing
Henry Scott.
That's
Hello,
him.
people.
He's awake, everybody. He's awake. You
I'm
might want to move your muff down a little bit there, mate. We're just blocking your lovely visage.
Just a little bit here, mate.
There we go. That's it.
This is I can't see myself anymore. You'll find yourself fixating. You'll find yourself
I know,
fixating on yourself.
It's quite weird. It's
like,
that-
oh, I'm so beautiful. Wow.
It's going to be like the cat from a dwarf. It's like, let it. I need some help. I'm going to be here all day, man. It's actually quite off-putting. I might just have to focus on you for a bit.
You know what I mean? I'm staring right into the camera because we're talking with you, the listener.
Yeah, so we are here. You, if you want to see what we look like and see what we're doing, and here in our lovely studio whilst socially distancing, you can go to the Facebook page.
Or our YouTube page, which is just Revive FM UK.
Exactly, and that is also the same as the Facebook page. So we are here. We've made it to the second hour. We've obviously swapped seats because this is what we do on a weekly basis. When
we do love swapping on a weekly basis.
We do love a swapping on a weekly basis.
We do love a swapping, don't we?
I won't lie to you, mate. I won't lie to you. It is absolutely amazing. Like when we get to swap with you, it's like the highlight of my week.
It's a highlight of my week as well, mate.
mate.
Honestly,
It's amazing, mate.
See, this is the fun hour of the show where we detach ourselves from the seriousness of the news this week.
This is where we can start
a little bit.
Yeah, this is where we can start to become a bit like Professor Brian Cox and look at an existential view of the news. It's fantastic.
It's actually really good. You pull out a new impression at least once a week.
Do you know what? That's the only one, and obviously where Elise is from Manchester, that's the only one that. Well, she does like majority of them, but that one always makes her laugh. So no matter what mood she's in, I can just sit there and go, Elise, have you ever realised that
it's just so good.
Just things can, and the best thing is as well. He's heard he's got a CBE.
See,
he has.
Do you know what I do a really good
Professor
impression?
Brian
I do a really good impression of Kevin Bridges.
Oh, Kevin Bridges. Oh, you're doing Kevin Bridges.
Kevin Bridges.
The best thing
is I was standing on a bus stop one night when a madman comes over to me and says, "Oi, give me £1 or you're getting stabbed." And I thought, Wow, what a good deal. Getting stabbed, it would kind of ruin your night. You'd have to go to the hospital, and then you'd have a police witness statement. It'd be what a terrible inconvenience it would be to get stabbed by a madman, and he's offering me a way out for a mere pound. I love Kevin Bridges. That is
brilliant.
Man.
That is really
I love Kevin Bridges.
Do you know what I think we need to do? I think like one time we need to come back from an ad break and we need to have it so that we're not just using our own voices. We could be like, you sound like Kevin
five people in the studio.
Well, why not? You know, just it'd be well that way. I mean, technically, we have to socially distance from our own voices. Would that even be possible?
Oh, difficult.
I mean, that's a new thing, isn't it? You know, that's a bit of existentialism right there. We need to have like not just Professor Brian Cox. We'd also need to have like Jean-Paul Sartre.
Aye.
That's really the only way for it is just.
To be honest, any Scottish person listening will probably be very unhappy with me. But you know,
well, in
call in, tell me how annoyed you are at my terrible Scottish accent.
In fairness, you know, I mean, I don't think it was that bad. Personally, I think it was a very good Glaswegian. Obviously, Kevin Bridges is from Glasgow.
Thank you very much.
It's one of those things. I mean, I
really work hard on my Glaswegian.
It's very good. I mean, I won't lie to you. It's like when I do Bryn. I probably don't sound like anyone from Barry Island, but at the end of the day, it brings me joy.
For I am the only gay in the village.
Oh, I don't know. Can we say that now? I don't know because it's coming back, isn't it?
Little Britain is coming back. Little Britain is supposedly coming back, but a lot of the stuff they did, they can't do blackface. And do you know what really shocked me about blackface is very shocking when you see it anyway because you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But do you know what really shocks me about Little Britain is that back in it's kind of like when it was coming out, it was only 2004.
Yeah.
What? That was acceptable in 2004.
Do you know what it was? It was.
I was 3.
Yeah, I mean, can you stop saying that, please?
Sorry, make you feel a bit old.
I won't lie.
If you're going to say, "Oh, you're going to go to bed," then I'm going to make those kind of references.
Back in mad.
I wasn't alive when Home Alone came out.
Sorry, I'll just pop the mic there. No, I mean, but the thing is as well that. It wasn't accepted. I mean, everyone always makes the jokes about the black and white minstrels and things like that. For those who don't know, the black and white minstrels were a white group back in the 60s and the 70s, and they had blackface on. So they would have, but you'd see like the white skin and then it would be blackface kind of around like that. And the interesting thing was in the first series of Little Britain, and I don't really want to talk about it too much because there's. Like I'm not mad on some of the people. I used to like it, but I can't now after I've heard some stories, so I can't.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of issues surrounding a lot of shows which are made during that era.
Yeah, and
surrounding comedy.
Exactly, and one of the original sketches that was done on Little Britain was the black and white minstrels trying to get work.
Yeah,
because it wasn't, and they actually, in fairness, they actually did go, "Sorry, you're not working here," because it wasn't socially acceptable. But then it was the weird thing of when you had bubbles and so that was kind of. It's kind of funny in a way. Then it went a bit too far when they brought on, I think it was Desiree, which was David Walliams doing it in the blackface, and it was the same thing of darling, and it wasn't very good. But anyway, let's move on from all that. That's coming back at some point. I mean, I don't know in what shape it will be in, but I'll be honest with you, I think I've kind of outgrown it, to be honest with you. So it's it's one of those things. I mean, I think it was kind of its time, even though it was only 20 years ago, I suppose, but still. But we're actually going to go on to, we're going to stick with the entertainment theme for a little bit. I've actually got an article here, and it's about the new Cultural Recovery Fund. So I don't know if you've heard about this.
The excellent Fatima's next job could be in cyber ad. Yeah?
I think that's the one.
Yeah. Let me get it up for you real quick. You'll really like it. Have you seen it?
I've seen a bit of it. I saw one this morning on Radio X that they'd sort of lampooned, and it was Toby Tarrant, who is, for those who don't know, is the son of Chris Tarrant, and it's a picture of him playing cricket. And they said Toby's next job could be on the radio, and it's like, really? And he's just like, that's not even funny. But basically, whilst you find that, so venues and organisations, including the Cavern Club in Liverpool and the London Symphony Orchestra, the best soundtracks in the world, Star Wars, are set to receive a share of a £257 million government arts funding.
Good.
The Cavern, which hosted the early gigs of the Beatles. I mean, talk about milking a cow. I mean, I won't lie, it was a while ago, but I mean, get some new accent. But honestly, I do want to go there. That's on my bucket list to see is the Cavern. It has been given £525,000 to fund the recording of performances from local musicians, which is fantastic. That's what the Cavern Club needs to do. Stop living in the past. Get and actually... Get new accent, get things like that. It's amazing. More than 1,300 organisations are set to benefit, including the Birmingham Royal Ballet and the Bristol Old Vic. Culture Secretary Oliver Dowden, that's it,
Oliver
described the
Dowden.
mood as a vital boost. The funding is a vital boost for theatres, music venues, museums, and cultural organisations that form the soul of our nation.
Yeah.
In a statement about the money, which comes out as part of a wider 1.57 billion cultural recovery fund. It will protect these special places, save jobs, and help the culture sector's recovery. Birmingham Royal Ballet will receive £500,000 to help offset loss of earnings from.
See, this is what's been needed since March.
Yeah.
Because this is a job ad that the government brought out actually quite recently, which in fact everyone in the government's been distancing themselves from, I will say, because although it was supposed to direct people towards cyber, because they used a ballet dancer, it just didn't time very well with the whole thing. So if people on Facebook can see that.
Yeah, if it's there, you might just need to down a little bit. But yeah, it's
what about that? Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. So if not, then I'm sure we can find it if you want to have the.
But yeah, so when I saw this, I was quite insulted, really, because I'm in the arts. So I came up with this. Boris's next job could be in hairdressing, but he just doesn't know it yet.
I wouldn't lie.
He's giving a bit of a hairdressing, a nice bit of a fade to Rishi Sunak there.
Well, you know what they say: hair today, gone tomorrow.
Well, I mean, Boris's hair. I don't see why I can't give it a wash, to be honest.
I know it's well. Put it this way: I mean, I can speak as experience from someone with long hair. If you do wash it, it goes very floppy. Could you imagine Boris with even floppier hair?
Apparently, he ruffles it up when he goes out. Do
you know what? I can
apparently
see
ruffles it on purpose.
But the problem is that
I've heard.
It's at that level where if it's like, I mean, if it was on Facebook, I've got kind of.
Let me have a look.
Mine's kind of medium length hair. It's kind of all right. Hang on, for those who are watching this. No, now you do look like Boris. So I'm the Boozemeister. Boozemeister.
Yeah.
Johnson B.
I'm the new kid, Johnson B.
I do love and I'm not going to say it because obviously the thing.
This is quite atrocious.
Did you see the prop that he had?
The cone on the head, the dunce cone.
No, not the cone on the head. No, the other one. I can't.
Don't really want to know. Let's leave that to the imagination.
Well, it took me a while to get it, but it was kind of in reference to the whole bunger bob for a Big Ben.
Big Bing Bond.
That was it.
I thought that was crazy. And then, do you know what's worse? As he said it, and then everyone was like, yeah, we'll donate to get Big Ben ringing again. And then they distanced themselves from it because they got scared.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny.
Flip-flopping from this government, man.
I know. But it's going to be good. But apparently, just going back to this, so not everything was approved. So there's only, you had to apply for it. So there's things like, there's a famous... I've got the name of it here. Basically, Joe Lycett said that there's a comedy club called the Frog and Bucket, which hasn't made the cut. And ironically enough, the one of the Spitting Image voice actors, Matt Ford, did a lot of stand up there before getting the job on Spitting Image. So for those who don't know, he actually plays Boris and Donald Trump. That's his main characters on the show. And he's like they're all coming out on it saying that it's really terrible. And so Joe Lycett actually said that where that one didn't get wasn't approved funding, says it's a tragedy for the British comedy scene that Manchester's famous and often career-launching comedy club, the Frog and Bucket, has not made the cut. According to Arts Council England, which will distribute the new funds, the arts and culture industry contributes more than £10 billion a year to the UK economy. So obviously, if we can't go out, we're not really going to be going to support these things. And it's a shame because, I mean,
well, do you know what?
All standing outside.
A lot of insurance companies have been pulling the fast ones on small businesses, and I know one personally. I won't mention it for just for not just being impartial. A couple of insurance companies. Some businesses have what's called business interruption insurance, i.e., if, for example, if a pandemic were to hit, or if they were unable to make profit, stuff like that. Then an insurance company would have to pay their money for the interruption. That can be a terrorist attack or anything like that.
Yeah.
And interestingly, in one case of one business, they have business interruption insurance, but they also have notifiable disease down there.
Okay.
And there's a list of notifiable diseases as well as any disease that the government makes notifiable. Right.
Right.
So therefore, you'd think Corona would cover that. Now, the insurance company argues in this case that.
Please don't say they call it an act of God.
No, they just said that it's not legible because you need to make sure that the virus would manifest itself at the premises. And what you'd have to do then is get an expert witness. And see these little legal.
So effectively, they need to prove that there is coronavirus in the building before they will pay out. Yes.
And so this is which is very hard to do. They've there's been plenty of stuff that this local business has done, but just like them, I wish the insurance companies would sort of pay out.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, even just as I don't mean in a horrible way, but as an act of goodwill would be very good, because
I mean, lots of businesses are suffering. Like
Facebook
has been giving. Basically, Facebook has $90 billion in cash. They don't have anything to do with.
Yeah.
So
they've got. It's funny actually. They've got a lot of. Bearing in mind they are
liquidity. They've got so much liquidity,
asset, which is funny because they don't really deal with anything that is liquid assets, really. It's more.
It's just ad revenue. Yeah, it's just ad revenue. They've got butt tons of money from.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
I mean, could always stick it in a bank, or
or they could give it to their employees.
That'd
be nice.
I mean, that's radical right there. That's the radical thinking that could change this country for the better.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen.
Well, I don't know. Maybe was it socialism, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah,
that's what they do in France. If they're not happy, they just revolt.
I mean, we could do with a bit of that. I'm not inciting it, but we could do with like a casual one, just like something on the low key, just like Well,
basically, we just turn up to work one day, and all of a sudden, there's just a brown paper bag under everyone's desks. Just going, just take this, say no more, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Oh, say no more, say no more. Just go full Monty Python now.
What? Interestingly, I've been thinking the other day about Rishi Sunak, right? What a guy. He's just giving away money. That's why everyone likes him. It's true. Everyone, I love Rishi, and Weatherspoons has got Sunak specials and Dishy Rishi. And I'm just thinking, everyone only likes him because he's giving away loads of money.
Yeah, you watch. If he becomes prime minister, if Boris steps down, I mean, that will be interesting. If he's still like then, isn't he? So
he's not, the thing is, he's just not going to keep on giving away money, is he?
I know, well, no, this is the thing. People, I don't mean this horrible way. I think majority of people think it's going to be an endless pot.
No.
We are going to have to pay this back. This is basically, the country is taking out the world's biggest loan.
Well, I will be paying this back when I'm in my 60s, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not far off of that. I'll probably be paying that in a couple of months' time.
But every bit of spending that has happened now is going to be down to the younger generation who didn't get a say in Brexit, and Brexit's going to affect our economy largely. I don't think we're going to get a trade deal.
I think they'll have to extend it. I think they'll extend the deadline for talks, because obviously it's kind of put a bit of a scupper on things, isn't it? Everyone's kind of had to.
Lots of UK small business leaders have said that the government has their head in the sand, and Irish government has announced a budget based on the no deal.
Really? So they're sort of planning for the worst.
They're planning for worst case scenario now. I'm not looking forward to this.
I know. I wonder what. And then is it going to? Are we going to get the? Well, I think they've sort of said that the hard border they're not going to do now, or the border between.
I don't know what's going on with that. The Brussels has started legal action over it. I don't know.
Because the UK has broken the law, isn't they?
We have officially broken international law, which is a very sad day, to be honest.
I know, but I suppose it's because we can't have a border between Republic of. Well, they're trying. Hang on, I'm getting this confused now. They're trying to get a border. We've only got a minute, so I'll probably have to pick it up on the break. But after the break, but it's basically they want to have the Republic of Ireland still part of the EU, but not Northern Ireland, because obviously that's part of the UK. And they're talking about having it as just one whole island. Is that right?
Yeah, and the issue with that is the Good Friday Agreement, which unionists would be very upset over. We can go into this is quite complex.
I think we'll go. Yeah, we'll try and pick that up after the break.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, because I've done my EPQ on it. I've essentially written a book and a part of a film script on the whole Northern Ireland situation, and it is complicated and messy, to say the least.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go to a break now, so let's pay the bills, and we'll be right back after this.
Did you know that girls like Noura walk an average of 3 miles every day in search of clean water to support their families? Minhaj Welfare Foundation believes you can end the water crisis by building small and large-scale water projects. Your charity is helping improve the lives of communities living in the poorest regions of the world. However, more needs to be done. Support Water for All. Donate today. Call us now, 0300 30 30 777, or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
Here at Duncan Lewis Solicitors, we specialize in immigration and family law. We have a proven track record of successful applicants who we've helped secure permanent residency for. From spouse visas to seeking asylum, our expert advisors will assist you throughout the whole application process. We offer a free no obligation consultation, so call us now on 0208 432 3350. That's 0208 432 3350, or visit us at 298 Romford Road, London, E79HD.
People of Asian and Black ethnic origin are at an increased risk of COVID-19. Queen Mary University London has launched a research study called Covidence UK to find out why this is. If you are Black or Asian, we need your help to complete our studies. All you need to do is complete an online survey. Please help us to understand the coronavirus disease so we can develop tools to prevent it. Sign up at qmul.ac.uk/Covidence. Sign up and save lives.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk or contact our sales team now on 07944 565616. That's 07944 565616. Advertise with Revive FM.
Thousands of people who suffered sexual abuse as children have now been heard.
It was wonderful to be finally listened to.
The Truth Project, part of the independent inquiry into child sexual abuse, will close in 2021. But for now, we're still here to listen, to hear your experience, and help create a safer future for children. Search Truth Project.
I came over from the Caribbean on my mother's passport in 1962. So when my right to live here was questioned, it broke me. I was afraid, and to be honest, I was skeptical about calling the Windrush Help Team. But my husband persuaded me, and I'm so glad I found the courage. The team have been really great. Now I've got the right documents and compensation too. It doesn't change what happened, but it helped. To find out if they could help you too, visit gov.uk/Windrush Help Team.
With over 40 years experience in the industry, Plastic Carpets is the place to go for all of your carpets, laminates, linos and wood flooring. We have an established network of suppliers, which means we can offer some of the best prices in town. We offer free estimates and now even free fitting. Call us now on 0208 472 8568 or visit us at 157 to 159 Plashet Road, Upton Park, London E13 0QZ.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
on your mobile.
And online.
Hello, everybody. You're listening to Revive FM 94.0 in London. My name is Tom Hutchinson, and this man who's pointing very vigorously at a webcam is
Henry Scott.
Yes, he is.
Couldn't take that seriously there. How are you doing?
Hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
Ladies and gentlemen, my cousin Vinny. Right. Now, hopefully this is going to work. If not, you're just going to hear a lot of really faint sounds.
Yeah,
but,
cross the fingers.
Yeah, for those of a certain age, do you remember this? And it's not going to work.
There we go.
There we go.
It sounds like regular show. No, I don't know it. I don't know this.
No one ever was.
Sounds like Michael Jackson.
I was just about to say that. Someone's told this guy. Hang on, wait a minute. You'll hear it.
Oh, it's a Pokemon.
A shaman. This guy has been told he was Michael Jackson as a kid. Right. So let's turn this down a little bit. Now, back in the day, this is the reason why earlier on the show I bought this in. Now, this, for those of you who don't know, it's a Pokemon card. Now, for those of you who are under the age of, I don't know,
my age.
Yeah, under the age of 18, go and ask your parents. These...
Actually, no, to be honest, I know what Pokemon is.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going. It's been going now for 20-odd years.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's the longest... It's one of the longest-running anime shows in the world, and it's the second most popular one behind Dragon Ball Z, which, if you're... Oh, jeez. I mean, really? Based Dragon Ball Z, I'll have to explain to you.
I grew up with Arthur, man.
Oh, my God, you missed out on so much. Right, I love this. I'm going to leave this playing in the background. This is brilliant. So... basically, this is a Pokemon card, for those who don't know. Now, this is an ancient Mew. This goes anywhere from between £2 to about £40. This was released for Pokemon the First movie all the way back in 1999. If you ever fancy a night
So it's older than me?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
And dare I say, it's in just as good condition as you are.
I would say I'm in slightly better condition.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, that's what I say. But, right, so this is, as I say, now just remember this. 40 quid at best, right? £40 at best. So a rapper called Logic, okay, has reportedly paid $226,000 for a first edition Charizard Pokemon card.
You got Pikachu.
I think I had a Pikachu at home. I don't know. To be honest
What's
with
that
you,
one?
this is a Mew. So this is kind of the emphasis of the first movie.
Let's do an evaluation on that. You talk, I look.
So basically, trading card watchdog Card Hops reported on October the 10th that a PSA base set first edition Charizard from 1999 had been sold at auction. They paid $183,812 for the card.
God.
Which I know, which is distinguished by a lack of a shadow.
I'm saying, oh my goodness, at my screen, sir.
Oh, really? What about the Pokemon cards on
Mew,
display?
The ancient Mew, yeah? £750.
Yeah, but there's different versions of it, you see, because this is, I think, quite a regular one. There are like ones which are on the back. The backs are slightly different.
Somebody's selling an entire case of Mews for $230,000.
Yeah, but will he get it? That's the thing. But basically, this rapper Logic, who apparently is now on Twitch, which apparently is not something that you do when you're at the curtains trying to rat on people who are in more groups of 6. Apparently, it's a gaming thing. So he paid, this $226,000 for it, and he said, "When I was a kid, I absolutely loved Pokemon, but couldn't afford the cards. I even remember trying to trade food stamps for them, and now as an adult, I've saved every penny and have made it being able to something that I have enjoyed since childhood, and he can now, finish perfectly. It then became his passion to collect for it. And I mean, back in the day, I never really quite got the hang of it, but I always used to just get loads of cards, and I said, look, if anyone wants any, have them. It's fine. But I thought, seeing as this has obviously gone for £226,000, and because a couple of weeks ago, if you may remember, we played a game. And I think it went really well. I mean, we literally had one message saying, can you please play it again? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you, Mr. Scott, to come down and play your cards right. I mean, I've really put some effort. I mean, I was away in Cornwall for a while, wasn't I? So
You were actually.
So can I suggest
maybe turn it down a little bit?
Yeah, there we go.
No, as in not us, as in the music.
Oh, really? I thought
we're too quiet.
What, was that annoying?
No.
Right, there we go. There we go. I like that.
I was hoping the game music could sort of tick around in the background, but it's fine.
Are you sure? Well, we could always put this on. If you like. Here you go.
Oh no!
Yes.
All right, fine.
You like building the tension.
Go on.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I've got a couple of Pokemon cards here. Now, obviously, Charizard, $226,000. That's out of it. All right. That is.
The Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music is stressing me out. Would you mind just turning it off? Because I'm really stressed out.
Yeah, no worries. All right, I'll turn it down.
Mate, it's just so stressful. The tension is too high.
That's the point of it. I mean, it's not even like you're playing for a cash prize here. I mean, you're not even
I'm not playing for anything. I'm only playing for nothing. But please continue.
It's a bit like the government, really, in that respect. So, right. So what we're going to do is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Okay. Now these have all sold, and these are, as of 2020, apart from that one, some of the most expensive cards that have been sold. Now, all the prices as well are in dollars. Okay. Or if you're in Australia, then it's dollary dues.
Okay.
If you're a
dollary didgeridoo.
Dollary dues. If you're a fan of Dankmas there on YouTube, who's
Steve Irwin.
It's a Steve Irwin. Oh, God bless Steve-O. Crikey. Actually, some of these prices will actually make you say crikey.
Well, sir,
let's start. So I'm going to give you a benchmark. Okay. So seeing as we've got Mew here in the studio, all right, let's start with your benchmark, which is a holographic shadowless first edition Mew 2 card.
So it's a first edition.
First edition. All right. Now this went for $1,500. Okay. $1,500 is your benchmark. Didgeridinos. I've got to make sure I say this right. But the worst thing is I used to be able to do the impressions of the Pokemon until my voice broke. Sucks.
That usually tends to be what it is.
I know.
I can do impressions, so I can.
I know, and then all of a sudden it just drops. So let's go for Ghastly. Okay, a Ghastly Expedition card. So $1,500 is your benchmark. All right. Now, as a Ghastly Expedition card, did that sell for higher or lower than $1,500?
$1,500 higher.
You have, I really feel like I'm actually missing the millionaire.
You just said Ghastly. You've given me all this information about the Mew. Do I get any more information about the Ghastly card?
Oh, right, so you want a Pokedex, basically?
Yeah. Can you use it in a sentence?
Ghastly, a gas Pokemon. Basically, it was a ghost. It was a ghostly Pokemon.
I'm going to say lower.
You're going to say lower? I love it. So you just because I said it was a ghost Pokemon.
Yep. No one likes ghostly Pokemon. They're useless.
You are right. It went for $999.
My aptitude for Poke skills is. Or maybe I can throw that
Could be
on my CV and try to get a job.
Could be a
in this
Pokemon
economy.
master. I'm telling you.
Do you reckon that'd help me get a job in this economy?
I think right now anything's possible. It could happen. It could happen.
Would be useful.
It could work. All right. So let's go with a. So Ghastly Expedition card is $999. Okay. But did a Championship Arena card sell for more or less than $999?
Now you say Championship Arena.
Yeah. So you used to get certain cards, where like the cards you'll get either the Pokemon on there or a leaf power or a lightning. I think it was called like lightning stones or fire stones, and it was supposed to increase the Pokemon's power.
I'm going to say lower.
You're going to say lower.
I said there's a lot of those produced.
You would be right. It is $499. So congratulations. I know this is it. See, you don't need Pokemon for this. This is literally your economics background right here.
Yeah.
All right. So
who needs that A level?
Exactly. Who needs it?
Me. Let's keep going.
Right. So the next one, a Gold Star Espeon card. Now, I think this is after I stopped watching it.
Now,
so
what
I don't
is an
remember.
Espeon?
I don't remember this one because I remember there was
I'm going to say it's higher than 440 because it's got a cool name.
It was $499, and you would be right. It went for $3,500.
I scored all points so far.
I know you're doing well.
How many have we got left?
You've got. I'm going to take one out because it's a Charizard, so it's going to kind of give the game away.
Yeah,
really.
I love it.
So we're going to go for two more. Okay. So a Pikachu Expedition card. Did it sell for more or less than $3,500?
Pikachu. This is going to turn into an ASMR video in a second. I'm just having to think.
How the heck have you ever seen a Pikachu ASMR video?
Pikachu is very, very popular card.
I mean, they did make a movie out of it.
They made a movie
Detective
out of it.
Pikachu.
It's highly likely that it would be a semi-common card to have.
People have kicked off because this thing could be evolving at some point this year after 24 years.
I'm going to say higher. Wait, whoa, hold on.
Oh, he's second guessing himself there.
What was the value at the last card? 3,000.
So the Espeon was $3,500.
Pikachu, higher or lower? I'm going to say higher.
I say higher.
I'm going to be one of those accidental rare things.
You would be right.
Yes.
It went for. Do you want to have a guess how much it went for?
10,000, 20,000?
Oh, close. Not that high, but it was higher. $5,999
for a little card.
I know. These
Sorry,
are
mate, I
so
don't see the
ridiculously
value.
overpriced. I know it, but this is the thing. It was so crazy. Like this was like Pogs back in the day. I mean, Pogs were the same thing.
It's like when everyone was after iPads that had Flappy Bird on them. The one sold for 10K.
Yes. Similar principle. You know, it's like it was.
Everyone goes, "Oh, I better sell my cards too."
Exactly. That was the thing, and it went crazy. Right, I'm going to give you the last one. All right. So this is a first edition, shadowless. So think about the two shadowless ones we've had so far. All right, Charizard and Mewtwo.
Charizard's very high. Though.
Yeah. Charizard. So this is a first edition
Mew's
shadowless
$700.
holographic Blastoise. Now this was the top of the Squirtle evolution one, which sounds really weird if you don't know what I'm talking about. So because it used to go, I think it was Squirtle, War Turtle, and then Blastoise.
Just having a think here. I'm very in thought.
Yeah.
Because $5,000 for the Pikachu, right?
$5,990, basically $1 under
basically
$6,000.
Basically $600. $6,000. Basically $6,000. And then you've got the other guy who's this other
Mewtwo, which is kind of the
now,
genetic.
Squirtles, I know from Pokemon Go, they are rarer in rarer form. And I know you're being silent to try and throw me off, but I'm gonna go with higher.
You think it was higher than $5,999?
I do.
For a first edition shadowless holographic Blastoise. I'm afraid so. You would be wrong.
Oh no!
It went. You were doing so well. It went for $1,500.
You led me on by saying it was a rare question.
I'm just saying. I was trying to say get an average. It is somewhere between $1,500 and $226,000.
Oh, wow.
It's a bit of an average.
Anyway, in other popular culture this week,
another popular culture news.
Another popular culture news. Twitter went into a meltdown yesterday during the coronavirus press briefing, where Boris Johnson came to the end of his speech, and Rishi Sunak. I'm just going to play this out loud. It's just too perfect.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
I just love this. Basically, it's the most cringy thing I think the government has done so far. Let me listen to
give
this.
it time.
Listen to this.
Good evening. Thanks, Phil.
Now, for those who don't know, the first bit is obviously Rishi Sunak. The second bit is Will from the In-Betweeners, which is what people have been comparing it to. You were saying, weren't they?
Yes, that's exactly what people are comparing it to, and I could not stop laughing. Thanks, PM.
It's
and Boris just looks like,
what?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
You just call me PM. I mean,
PM.
Don't you know I'm Johnson B, the Bosemeister?
I was just like so shocked.
That would have been actually. Do you know what that would have been better?
It's very funny though, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I'll be honest. That's the only way you could have made that daily briefing a bit better is if you could have gone, "Thanks, Bosemeister." It's like
that would have been quite good.
Have you seen actually? Apparently, Boris Johnson says that he thinks that the puppet looks more like Bjorn Borg than him. Apparently, the Swedish tennis player. I mean, I think that's the point. It's supposed to be a caricature.
It's a caricature, mate.
Yeah,
chill out.
It's relaxed. But I mean,
what I did love is when he did go off to university, they took the mickey out of university students as well. It's like, I'm going to prepare some vegan profiteroles.
Oh no, no.
And I'm going to be studying.
Oh no, it wasn't.
For £9,000 a year.
No, wasn't it actually? It was a spreadsheet of vegan profiteroles. That was it. And then, hey, what's that over there? And then he come back. A bunch of it was a bunch of idiots.
Yeah,
with the traffic going on his head.
My goodness.
Oh, it's gone mad, isn't it? I mean, I think we've got.
When you do need a bit of satire every now and then.
We do. I mean, it does help, doesn't it? I mean, it's fun to poke fun at yourself. I mean, there was always back in the old Spitting Image, if I remember correctly, people used to be asked to get lampooned on there. It was kind of like an honor at the time.
Yeah, it was an honor.
Yeah, it was kind of like being on the Muppet Show back in the 70s. It was a great honor if you were asked, and because it went to back in the day, it was about 28 million people. I mean, because you only had 3 channels back then. But to try and get on Spitting Image back then, I mean, the thing I always loved was John Major, and I think Rory Bremner said it because I think if I'm right, I might be wrong. He did the voice of John Major. And he always had what he would call the Wally voice, which was like, sort of, oh, hello, I'm going to run the country for the next 4 years. And because John Major was always considered to be very boring and very
dull.
Yeah, very dull. They made him a grey puppet. He was the only grey puppet in the whole thing. So all these others are, you go Ronald Reagan, his face is crunched up, and it's not just my country I'm having a relationship with, and all this sort of stuff.
I imagine John Major was,
hello, I'm going to run the country for the next 4 years. And that was it. And he basically spoke like this and go, hello, my name's John Major. And he would be the most boring person at the dispatcher's box.
And that would be it. And they made him this grey puppet. And I think there's a couple of them left. And they sell at auction now for hundreds of thousands of pounds. It's absolutely obscene. But I got to be honest with you. I think that the one I'm looking forward to seeing is Billie Eilish. Because I love her.
I cannot wait for
she's fantastic.
Billie Eilish to.
I know. Do you know what? I do like her. I mean, I was saying to my friend Jen last night, I think she's one of those people that I would, if I had kids, I'd actually like them to look up to, I think. Because,
fair enough.
Yeah, no, I think because she's about positivity. She will, and it's for those that she wears like the big baggy clothes because obviously she covers up the fact that she doesn't want to show the fact she's got a body and potentially be sexualized and anything like that. She's 18 anyway, but she's got a real head on her, and she's really smart. Her and her brother Phineas, who make those amazing songs and things like that. I mean, I heard that new Bond song, and all right, I will admit it's not the best Bond song ever, but I do like it, and she's put her own stamp on it. I think it's better than Sam Smith's one.
In my opinion, that's the worst Bond song.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I
think Adele's was top class.
Adele's was good. Adele. I mean, Adele is Adele. If it makes with Adele, basically, you will have. She could touch anything and it will sound good. I just wish she would make a cheerful song once, please. Adele, you're coming back.
But,
I mean, you've lost
people don't
stone.
like listening to happy music.
I want to hear a happy Adele song. It's gonna happen.
I'm sorry. It's like the Family Guy made a joke a while back. They were talking about, let's so Taylor Swift wrote a happy song. It's like, I feel great, and then the crowd was like, boo! We want to hear about your depression. Boo!
But that's just them, isn't it? I mean, that's Family Guy all over, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's kind of true though. Like,
yeah,
you have to be famous in this world. You have to say the most outrageous things that upset people and cause a controversy on the internet and the media stage. It's how Piers Morgan is successful, as Katie Hopkins was successful for a short period of time until everyone realized she was just doing that for attention. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Actually, I tell you what, we've got 2 minutes left. Have you heard the big sort of? It just goes to prove if 2020 couldn't get any weirder.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Piers Morgan and Jeremy Clarkson obviously have had a major falling out over the years.
Have they?
Yeah, right. So basically, we got to watch how I say this, but it was kind of proved anyway. Clarkson had an affair years ago. I don't know who it was with, but he had an affair. And Piers Morgan, who was the editor of the Daily Mirror at the time, outed him. And they've come to blows, all right? And Clarkson will rubbish Morgan every chance he gets. They've now actually made up, because Clarkson put an article in The Sun the other day saying that, it's time for people to move on and forgive and forget and all this sort of stuff. If we can do it for Brexit, I've made up with Piers Morgan. And there's a picture of him with Piers, like not his arm around him, but they're smiling and actually having a laugh. And I'm thinking, the world has finally gone mad. It's actually gone mad.
That's kind of a good thing, though. It's the next thing you know, Noel and Liam Gallagher will be back together.
Oh, we can only hope. I mean, that would be living the dream. I mean, I can hear a bunch of Mancunians now going, "Yeah, make it happen, mate. Make it happen." It would be, honestly, it would be fantastic if it could. I mean, oh yeah. I mean, the British music scene.
Imagine bringing back Britpop.
I won't lie. I mean, we've got to go to an ad break. That would be the best thing in the world. I mean, it's better than when you hear some of this stuff, which is just.
I feel very much that Britpop died with Oasis to a degree.
It did, and now what have we got? That Cardi B's WAP thing, which to me,
have you heard the radio version of that? The clean version?
Is it literally just WAP over and over?
No, she just goes, "I'm gonna whap, 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 gonna whap, whap, whap." It's so not vulgar at all. And they do. There's some in this house. There's some in this house, because you're not allowed to say it at this time of the day. So I heard it on BBC Radio 1. I was listening to it like. What?
Do you know what?
And the bloke even commented, he's like, "I've not heard the clean version of that."
I don't think we would. But anyway, we've got to go to an ad break. We've got a few minutes left, so we're going to play some ads and we'll see you after this.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no-obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
This is Aisha. Her father died in an accident at a very young age. She lives with her mother and siblings. There are millions like Aisha who do not have access to the very basics of life, resulting in her and many others not being able to attend school. Through Minhaj Welfare Foundation, your charity is dedicated towards supporting the full needs of orphans and needy children around the world. Donate today. Call us now, 0300 30 30 777, or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
Nikah, talaq, counseling on matrimonial disputes, Islamic wills, Islamic law of inheritance, or an Islamic verdict on any other issue. The Muslim Sharia Council is at your service. We provide official certification, and our experienced and highly qualified imams are available to provide you with guidance when needed. MQI London is based at 292 to 296 Romford Road, Forest Gate. We are open from Monday to Friday, 2 to 4 p.m. or alternatively, call us now on 0208 257 1786.
The new NHS COVID-19 app shows me my risk of coronavirus and helps me protect my mum.
It lets me know fast if I've been in contact with other app users who have coronavirus, so I can quickly warn Dan.
It shows me the risk level in my area immediately, so I can tell Sue.
It helps me protect all my loved ones, like Kim and Chris.
The more of us who get the app,
the better we can control coronavirus.
Protect your loved ones.
Get the NHS COVID-19 app.
Download now at Google Play or the App Store.
Rosia Plumbing, the boiler specialists. We do new boiler installations, full house central heating systems, underfloor heating, boiler repairs, boiler servicing, and gas safety certification for landlords. With some of the best prices in town, there's no job too big or too small for our qualified engineers. For a free, no obligation quote, contact us now on 07956 282 948. Rosia Plumbing, the boiler specialists.
Revive FM
94.0.
On the radio.
On your mobile.
And online.
Hello there. My name is Tom Hutchinson. This is Revive FM 94.0 FM. We are back for the very last part of the show with my amazing co-host,
Henry Scoot.
Do you know? Do you like that? I like it. In Soviet Union, they like it too.
In Kazakhstan, they like it too, yes.
It's nice. I mean,
very nice.
Do you know what? We were talking about things that you couldn't really get away with back in the day with Little Britain.
Borat.
How is Borat 2 coming back?
Oh, I can't wait. Push the boundaries, I say. It's all a good joke and a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind Borat. I don't actually think I've watched it, but
you never,
I can only take it in small doses. It's really bad. It's the
really?
same with the brother.
I'm fine with it. It's like watching Jimmy Carr.
Well, it's the same with what was it, the Brothers Grimm? I mean, yeah, Jimmy Carr does take it way too far, but then he always does it where he kind of then pokes fun at himself, doesn't he? At the end, to try and diffuse the tension.
Yeah, exactly. And he always goes, "Oh, a bit of tension there." Oh,
yeah.
Anyway, we've got some breaking news for the first time. Scientific advisors to the government have announced that a 2-week lockdown could save thousands of lives, which places even more pressure on Boris Johnson. From analysis of better benefits of a circuit breaker lockdown with strict controls over the October school break. 2 of the UK government's leading scientific advisors say thousands of deaths from coronavirus could be avoided by Christmas if a 2-week circuit breaker lockdown is imposed over the school half-term breaks, which means that schools would not miss out on much and they would still be able to go back as normal. They say that thousands of deaths, between 3,000 and as many as 107,000, could be avoided by January if a national lockdown is imposed over the October break.
Right. And I think, it's the last 2 weeks of October, isn't it, that it's the school half-term? Although, hang on, isn't a half term? It's only supposed to be 1 week, isn't it?
Yeah, but that would only mean a week off school rather than 2 weeks of school.
Oh, right. Okay. So I suppose it would just be 1 week of lessons via Zoom again, wouldn't it? I suppose.
The paper by Professor Medley and Professor Keeling is being submitted for peer review and models the effects of the 2-week local strict social intervention starting on October 24th and ending on November 7th. It is projected the restrictions could prevent between 5,000 and 140,000 hospitalizations by January. The short duration would also limit the economic damage.
Okay. So, so I suppose there's sort of pros and cons for it. It's the thing I always worry at is the mental well-being of people when I know that takes a lot, and also we've got to remember the other things as well that my knee fell off my chair. I know, smooth with a capital S. It's the other things that people weren't really talking about. Those people who are in domestic situations and things like that. You're going to be locking them up with people for potentially 2 weeks. So I suppose again, it's always pros and cons, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's what Chris Whitty said when he recently made his announcement at Downing Street without the Prime Minister telling us what was going to happen by December. 52,000 cases a day, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Without
intervention,
and we've brought the R number down, so that is now changed. But also, it's the fact that he did say it's a very delicate balancing act, is making sure that suicide rates don't go up, that domestic abuse situations don't go up, that poverty isn't done. Keir Starmer has also called for a circuit breaker lockdown to curb the surge in coronavirus infections across the UK. That was actually possibly the wrong thing for Sir Keir to do.
Yeah, I mean,
because you know what it's like. If Boris does it now, then Sir Keir Starmer's leading the country, isn't it?
Yeah, and he'll just be nicking. So they'll say, "Oh well, hang on, I came up with that," but I really don't know. I see. This is why I can never get into politics. I would be terrible at it. I think I would just. I think that no matter what you do, whichever route the government's gone down, there's been ripples, there's been effects, there's been it's the whole cause and effect.
I mean,
thing.
Government. If you make any decision you make in government, no matter how small, it affects a vast amount of people.
Yeah, and that is the problem, isn't it? I mean, we can only. I mean, if they are going to do a 2-week lockdown, I mean, I suppose it's not going to be as bad as I suppose the way we look at it is we've done 4 months. Is a fortnight really going to hurt? But then I suppose again, it is those people who are in those vulnerable situations.
Yeah, me and you seem to be in more fortunate positions that. You're in a house situation that is quite good. There are lots of other people who have to go to food banks every single week, and that I'm sorry, but food banks really grind my gears, especially in a country like this. Yes, they're very good institutions. It's great to have them.
It's the amount of checks that you have to go through to get something.
Well, no, but also why do you need to have them in the 5th largest economy in the world? Because why is anyone on a food bank? Why does anyone need to go to the food bank? Surely food and pricing should be correct enough so that families who are earning a minimum wage do not have to go and get free handouts.
Yeah.
like that it is no disrespect to anyone on the minimum wage. It's the system that is the problem, not the people, because they're getting paid what they can physically earn on a minimum wage. Surely, if you're on earning minimum wage, you should be able to not have to go to a food bank.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. To be honest, I mean, as someone who's actually on the minimum wage, it's not enough.
No, it isn't enough. And they talk about the upward spiral of inflation and by upping the minimum. Oh, well, we'll have to up our price. No, it's just people up their prices because they refuse to take less of a profit. I think it's quite disgusting, morally.
Yeah, it is terrible, isn't it? I mean, hopefully we'll have a bit more information on that if we are going to go into a local lockdown or a 2-week lockdown from on next week's show. We're going to finish as we normally do. We're going to play a song this week, and it was actually recommended by my friend Jen. So if you're listening, Jen, I hope you're doing okay, and I hope you enjoy this. I think this kind of works. Oh, sorry, that's a bit loud.
Oh, that was very loud.
That's all right. Just make sure you're paying attention.
That's all right.
I think this is quite good.
And we know what we're knowing, but we can't say what we've seen. And we're not little children, and we know what we want, and the future is certain. Give us time to work it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Road to Nowhere from Talking Heads. I've been Tom Hutchinson. He has been
Henry Scott.
And we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
We're on the road to nowhere. Come on inside. Taking that ride to nowhere. We'll take that ride. Feeling okay this morning, and you know we're on the road to paradise. Here we go, here we go. We're on a ride to nowhere. Come on inside. Taking that ride to nowhere. We'll take that ride. Maybe you wonder where you are. I don't care. Here is where time is on our side. Take you there. Take you there. We're on a road to nowhere. We're on a road to nowhere. We're on a road to nowhere. Sitting in my mind, come along and take that ride. It's alright, baby, it's alright. And it's very far away, but it's growing day by day, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. Would you like to come along and help me sing this song? It's alright, baby, it's alright. We can tell you what to do, but they'll make me fool you, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. There's a city in my mind, come along and take that ride, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. And it's very far away, but it's going day by day, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. And we're We're on a road to nowhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to us today on Revive FM 94.0. We will be back next week. My name is Tom Hutchinson. As always, he has been
Henry Scott.
And stay tuned because we've got so many more great shows coming your way right after this.
We'll see you. And remember, we're on repeat for tomorrow at 5 to 7. Again, if you missed our show and you want to hear more of us, run from 5 to 7. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
Thousands of people who suffered sexual abuse as children have now been heard.
It was wonderful to be finally listened to.
The Truth Project, part of the independent inquiry into child sexual abuse, will close in 2021. But for now, we're still here to listen, to hear your experience, and help create a safer future for children. Search Truth Project.
Through Minhaj Welfare Foundation, your giving saves lives. Your support has provided more than 3 million people with access to clean and safe water, emergency relief in natural disaster and crisis-affected areas around the world, supported orphans and needy children with a better future. This year, your help can do more. Donate your zakat, sadaqah, and charitable donations to any of your chosen projects. Call us now, 0300 30 30 777. Or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
Amigos, the signature name when it comes to burgers and shakes. Our succulent burgers are prepared in front of you while you wait. Whether you go for our 6-ounce Mexican or our 10-ounce Texan, or you decide to go for our messy fries or our buffalo wings, one thing you're guaranteed is quality. Dine in with your friends and family at 400 Cranbrook Road, Gants Hill, or order in on Uber Eats, Just Eat or Deliveroo. Amigos, hats off to great burgers.
Kebabish Original, one of the biggest names in the restaurant trade. Visit your local KO to experience the thrill of the grill and the most authentic Pakistani cuisine. From our kebabs to our curries and from our mixed platters to our peri-peri, our chefs prepare your food in front of you while you wait. KO is now offering franchise opportunities. To take advantage of our proven and successful business model, contact us on 0208 446 7779 or visit kebabishoriginal.co.uk.
Super Best Meze Grill, the Turkish restaurant where all our food is prepared to perfection. Our mixed grill family platters include lamb shish, chicken shish, Adana kebab, lamb ribs, chicken doner, chicken wings and lamb chops, and all are served with rice, salad, along with a selection of our cold mezes. To see our full menu, go to superbestmezegrill.co.uk. For the perfect dining setting, visit us now at 21 to 23 Broadway, Stratford, E15 4B, or call 0208 555 335. Super Best Meze Grill.
Hi, I'm Ian from the Windrush Help Team. If you came to the UK before the end of 1988 and are struggling to prove your legal status, I could help. You may also be entitled to compensation. I'm here to answer your questions and talk you through our application process. Anything you tell us will be treated sensitively and won't be passed on to immigration enforcement. Visit gov.uk/Windrush Help Team.
The Windrush Help Team, here to support you and your family.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk or contact our sales team now on 07944 565616. That's 07944 565616. Advertise with Revive FM.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
on your mobile.
And online.
رحمن يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن رحمن يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن لله لله يهفو
عملي لله ولحفظ كتاب الله من أول بسم الله للختم وللرضوان يا نور يا نور يا محكم يا تنزيل لمحمد عن جبريل من رب العرش دليل للعالم والإنسان رحمن يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن رحمن يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن
This is
Revive FM
94.0 with the latest news from around the world.
From the Sky News Centre at 7. The Labour leader has called for a 2 to 3 week national lockdown with pubs closed and non-essential travel banned. Sir Keir Starmer says it's needed across England to bring the coronavirus resurgence under control. Government scientists urged the same action 3 weeks ago, but ministers decided to bring in a 3-tier system of measures instead. Sir Keir has appealed directly to the Prime Minister.
You know that the scientific evidence backs this approach. You know that the restrictions you introduced won't be enough. You know that a circuit break is needed now to get this virus under control.
Health Secretary Matt Hancock has insisted the 3 levels of COVID-19 restrictions were formulated with the scientific advice in mind. He's also rejected the idea of herd immunity, saying many infectious diseases never reach that level.
With increasing evidence of reinfection, we should have no confidence that we would ever reach herd immunity to COVID, even if everyone caught it. Herd immunity is a flawed goal without a vaccine, even if we could get to it, which we can't.
London's mayor claims it's inevitable the capital will enter Tier 2 in the next few days, which would mean a ban on households mixing. Essex County Council, meanwhile, is asking to be put into that category. A woman and 3 children under 8 years old have died in a crash near Oxford. 2 others are in a critical condition after their car struck a lorry on the A40 last night. Kieran Trippier has withdrawn from the England squad to attend an FA hearing over an alleged breach of betting rules. The fullback faces a potential 6-month ban for offences in July 2019. And despite being photographed with the actress Lily James in Rome, Dominic West and his wife say they're very much still together. The star of the affair and partner Catherine Fitzgerald kissed for photographers outside their home in Wiltshire. That's the latest. I'm Andy Hayes.
This is Revive FM 94.0.
Reviving communities.
The views expressed on this program do not necessarily represent those of Revive FM or its management.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're listening to Revive FM 94.0 with your host Hassan Shah. I'd like to welcome you to our weekly sessions where we read through the text of Imam al-Ghazali called Dear Beloved Son, and we see where it takes us. And the aims, the objectives is to explore beyond what's physical, to explore the spirituality behind religiosity, to unravel and to understand us, to have a greater awareness of ourselves and understanding of ourselves, because we know that that's the key to understanding, to what we're limited, of course, but understanding the Creator. We have to look and really dig in within ourselves, understand how we've been created, understand the different energies and the different forces within us, to accept that we are not just a body, that there is a soul, there is a spiritual heart, there is this inner self, or this which we're going to continue and explore, and there are angelic presence, and there's also devilish presence. So here we continue where Imam al-Ghazali left off, or where we left off with Imam al-Ghazali, and we are on the 6th council of Dear Beloved Son. This council is titled Intention. And he says, my dear son, how many nights have you remained awake seeking knowledge and reading books, forbidding yourself the pleasure of sleep? I do not know for what purpose you did this. If it was for attaining worldly benefits and securing its vanities, its status and position, and asserting your superiority over your peers and brothers, then woe to you and again woe. But if your purpose was to revive the Sharia of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to train your character and break the nafs al-ammara, the soul commanding to evil, then blessed are you and again blessed. The poet spoke truly when he said, to spend the night awake and weeping for other than Allah is a foolish waste. So that's the 6th council. It's very short, and that was the aim that Imam Ghazali had when writing these short lists of councils, to make it short and concise. So again, to explore or to better understand ourselves, this greater purpose of our being and our existence, we have to understand ourselves and understand why we do the things that we do. And one of the first steps is to find out why you do the things that you've been doing on autopilot mode, things which are natural, things which are normal within your daily routine, why you've been doing that, the purpose behind it. And then by questioning or by challenging those introductory answers, let's say, so when an individual starts to ask questions and to find out the purpose behind why they do the things that they do, or how they appear in a specific manner, or how they address others, or how they address themselves, or how they physically present themselves, or how they socially present themselves. In all these different activities and these different circles of life, once we start challenging or asking ourselves why we're doing it, then we need to challenge it. And once we start challenging it, we start cleaning off the false excuses. And this is not something new, by any means necessary. This is something which has been practiced for years and has been understood, for years. It's also what they teach you when these governments put in a large amount of funds within their training, and how they train or how they recruit people. And to understand people, understand behavior, understand motives, understand reasons, to that we can get to the truth. You see, when they want to get to the truth of an individual or a suspect, they ask the questions, they build a pretext, they offer alternatives, they challenge it. So the individual says, I was doing this at that specific time. Then it's now to challenge it. Okay, so then why did you do this at that specific time? And then the reasons that they get or they give is then challenged. It's weighed, it's scaled, they see the possibility of it. And then to understand that, once they've challenged that, they have to understand why people do the things that they do in the first place, and the reasons behind it, and the causes. And once they've gathered that together, you can start understanding what's false and what's the truth. And having said that, we need to find the purposes behind the things that we do. And once we give ourselves a purpose, then we need to challenge that, because we know the way the nafs is, or this soul commanding to evil, or this caprice, or this inner self, or this ego. The names has been, there's so many different names for it, but the goal is one. We're talking about that one thing, the energy within us which commands to evil. Because when it's asked about something that it has been commanding to do, then it becomes very defensive. It becomes very, very defensive. It gives you reasons which aren't for, like, okay, let's give an example. When someone abuses drugs, or when someone is going through substance abuse, in reality, assessing the situation, we know for certain that drugs don't resolve our problems. Alcohol doesn't resolve our problems. If anything, they only make it worse. But then when someone is asked about why they're taking this substance, or why they're taking these drugs, or why they're abusing these drugs, it's the first answers which come out is, first of all, this is my life and you have no control over my life and I do what I want to do. That's usually one of the answers. And that's also, again, defensive. We don't want to resolve. We don't want to get to the bottom of it. The nurse wants you to just leave me alone. Let me do what I'm doing. I'm happy. I'm content. I am receiving what I need to receive. And slowly, my craving becomes bigger and stronger. And the individual, or my vessel is happy to increase. So when asked about when addressing their problem, first they can become very defensive and say, listen, it's got nothing to do with you. This is me. This is my life. I live it the way I want to live it. Again, so we know the person wasn't using these. We know that drugs is not helping or resolving any solution, any problems. It's not a solution. And then we look at it again, and the person says, it's my life. So basically, leave me alone. I do what I want to do. You have no care. You have no concern for me. Don't just leave me alone and let me do what I want to do, which is sort of neglect. It's a neglect of self. So we know already from the offset that this has not been, we haven't gone to the truth of the matter. So if this person takes time and really focuses on it and tries to unravel it in these moments of these thoughts, and you can't unravel it if we're just so distracted, if we're out all the time, if we're on our phones all the time. We really need to find time to ourselves and really ask ourselves these questions. So having had said that and brought that example, we can start, if the individual knows, like they can see after a while of abuse or using these substances, that I've been wasting a lot more money. I've become less social. I don't really see family anymore. All I want to do is just me and my fix, or me and my little zone, my little comfortable zone. And that's neglect. That's neglect of the soul. That's the neglect of the person's well-being. And we need to spend more time, get into the purposes, because then we can really, once we get the purposes, we know that the first excuses which are thrown out, and just this is my life, such as I do it just to calm down, or to help me with my problems, and we know that it's not going to be a solution for the problems. We know that if the person says, and I'm going to stop, we know that they're in procrastination. We know that that is one of the greatest or the strongest tools of shaitan, which is delaying responsibility, delaying getting things done. And just continue that upon till there's been a hole which has been dug up so deep that you can't really find your way out of it. So when these three or these four, these very few excuses come out at first, we need to start challenging it, because that's the ones which are thrown by the shaitan, or which are thrown by the nafs. So here he says, how many nights have you remained awake, seeking knowledge and reading books, forbidding yourself the pleasure of sleep? So even in this case, he's addressing the person who's not, He's not addressing the person out in the clubs. He's not addressing the person who's wrongdoing themselves. He's not addressing the person who is far from upholding their religious commitments. He's addressing that individual who is religiously committed, who is reading books, like forbidding himself the pleasure of sleep. So here it gets really important. So even before religious commitment or spiritual awareness, there has to be a challenging, or we have to challenge and test and try the answers that we put up when asked about the purpose or the aim or the reasons why we do things that we do. And then once there's been a journey and there's been steps taken, and there's a great amount of bad habits has been ceased, and a great amount of bad habits has been dismissed or has been stopped, and then a person has adorned or has taken up very good or a lot better habits which are good for them religiously, physically, mentally, spiritually. He's addressing that, because even then there is still a need to ask yourself and to try and challenge those questions or those answers that you give. So here in this case, a person who's like, let's look at it from the outward perspective. When Ghazali says, how many nights have you remained awake seeking knowledge and reading books, forbidding yourself the pleasure of sleep? So your son, or even yourself, or your daughter, or your brother, or whoever it is, you see them working really hard, and they're reading a book which has got to do with the religion, and it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, it's getting really late at night, and you see them, you would think that there's no one better than this person, because they're really involved, they're really trying to learn, they're forbidding, you can show discipline. A person is tired, but they are still staying awake, forcing themselves awake. Like here, for example, we have stories of the students of knowledge who ended up being scholars, who ended up contributing great works and brilliant-minded individuals to our Islamic tradition and to everything which has been put into all types of knowledge, religious, that's got to do with religion, or the ones which don't even have anything to do with religion, such as medicine and astronomy or mathematics. So here's like what's been known is what we've heard from some of these scholars is that at a time where there wasn't much lights, or there still hasn't it wasn't an everyday essential that everyone had, you would have, for example, some students who would follow the lights or at night of the travelers. So the people who are traveling, they'd usually typically have some type of lamp with them, so that the beast, or so that the donkey or the horse or the camel or whatever they're riding would be able to see, and they'll be able to see within themselves. So they'll have these lights, and then you'll have some of these students who would follow these lights so that they can read what has been written on with their ink and their papers from the mashayikh, from their teachers, just so that they don't go to sleep that night in the sense where they haven't revised or they haven't showed that hard work. It would keep you awake when something is keeping them awake, which is not fun, which is not what we know to be fun, or which is a pleasure for the senses. Then you see discipline. This person wants to do something. This person's can deprive themselves the luxury and the pleasure of sleep because they want to revise. And there's some other scholars who would sit on top of walls and revise till late at night, and they would start falling asleep, and there's nothing supporting their back, and there's nothing supporting them on their right, and there's nothing supporting them on their left. They're just sitting on a wall, and if they start falling asleep or nodding off, they fall off the wall. So they would have a lot of caution even in that time where they were sleep deprived. And again, anyone who has worked really hard towards something and has been successful at it has sacrificed a bit of sleep. So here's we'll continue shortly after the break, and we're going to discuss sleeping, the purposes behind sleeping, and a new, healthier alternative, or not a new, healthier, but something which has been through extensive research has been lined back to our to ancestral lineages and history, that a method or particular method of sleeping. We'll continue shortly after the break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thousands of people who suffered sexual abuse as children have now been heard.
It was wonderful to be finally listened to.
The Truth Project, part of the independent inquiry into child sexual abuse, will close in 2021. But for now, we're still here to listen, to hear your experience, and help create a safer future for children. Search Truth Project.
Through Minhaj Welfare Foundation, your giving saves lives. Your support has provided more than 3 million people with access to clean and safe water, emergency relief in natural disaster and crisis-affected areas around the world, supported orphans and needy children with a better future. This year, your help can do more. Donate your zakat, sadaqah, and charitable donations to any of your chosen projects. Call us now, 0300 30 30 777, or visit us on minhajwelfare.org.
I wash my hands to protect my family.
I wear a face covering to protect my mates.
I make space to protect my colleagues.
Hands.
Face.
Space.
I wash my hands to protect strangers.
I wear a face covering to protect other passengers.
I make space to protect you. Hands.
Face.
Space. As we spend more time indoors, we need to do whatever we can to help protect each other from coronavirus. So please, wash hands, cover face, make space.
Nikah, talaq, counseling on matrimonial disputes, Islamic wills, Islamic law of inheritance, or an Islamic verdict on any other issue. The Muslim Sharia Council is at your service. We provide official certification, and our experienced and highly qualified imams are available to provide you with guidance when needed. MQI London is based at 292 to 296 Romford Road, Forest Gate. We are open from Monday to Friday, 2 to 4 p.m. or alternatively, call us now on 0208 257 1786.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximize the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no-obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
I came over from the Caribbean on my mother's passport in 1962. So when my right to live here was questioned, it broke me. I was afraid, and to be honest, I was skeptical about calling the Windrush Help Team. But my husband persuaded me, and I'm so glad I found the courage. The team have been really great. Now I've got the right documents and compensation too. It doesn't change what happened, but it helped. To find out if they could help you too, visit gov.uk/Windrush Help Team.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk or contact our sales team now on 07944 565616. That's 07944 565616. Advertise with Revive FM.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
on your mobile.
And online.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're listening to Revive FM 94.0 with your host Hassan Shai. So let's continue. He says, how many nights have you remained awake, seeking knowledge and reading books, forbidding yourself the pleasure of sleep? I do not know for what purpose you did this, if it was for attaining worldly benefit. So here he says there's the action. We can see what's evident, that a person is staying awake. They have a goal, they have an aim, they have an objective, they want to learn, they want to read, they want to write, they want to, and it's keeping them awake. It's keeping them awake. And in that case, from outwardly, we would see or assume that that is something praiseworthy. But it only becomes praiseworthy when the individual is doing it for a praiseworthy reason and not to receive praise or not to receive acknowledgement or not to receive credit. You see? Because again, so that would be outwardly, it looks like dedication and it looks like hard work and achievement, but inwardly it's only to receive reputation and to be known. What benefit does that have for the soul? And that's one of the biggest veils which a soul or an individual can have on their hearts, which is doing things which seem noble, which seem praiseworthy off the hand or off the bat when you see it directly, but inwardly it's not for the right reason. And that's why on the Day of Judgment, the first people to be held accountable, or the first people to be placed under accounting, or to be held accountable for their actions. Meaning, what this is we believe that the resurrection, where we are all resurrected, and then we are all brought into the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then we are held accountable for our actions. So then we'll be an individual person will stand in front of Allah around the rest of creation, and then they would go through the reasons or the things that they did. They will be asked why. There would be all the good that they've done and all the bad that they've done will become clear, and everyone will be able to see the person who did a lot more good will be honored and would be given the glad tidings of eternal bliss and happiness. And those who the bad or the evil overtook or weighed more, and we also believe in a scale where these actions and the things that we've done. So things that we've done which apparently looked like they were good and they were noble, but we did it for any other intentions, is the worst type of bad that we can see, because it's insincere and because it's only doing it for people to know you, to praise you, to credit you. And that's why the scholars and the people, the pious or the righteous, the people of knowledge would be the first people to be held accountable before the people of non-Muslims and Muslims, before anyone. The ones who are held accountable are those of the people of knowledge. And then they are brought forth, and then they said, and it was asked of them, why did you study knowledge? Why did you give up your nights? Why did you give up your days? Why did you struggle and travel that much to study? What was the purpose behind it? And the truthful one, the sincere one, would say, it was for you, Ya Allah. It was so that we can be better and that we can fulfill this deputation on earth, which this responsibility that you have placed upon us, so that we can fulfill it to our utmost ability, and we can follow the guidance that you have sent to us through the best of creation, the best of human beings, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. That would be the truthful answer. And then from then onwards, it will be false. But then it will be fairly easy for that individual. But then it is said in the tradition, a person would be brought forth and who's a knowledgeable person or an alim or a scholar, and then they would be asked, why did you study and why did you learn? And then he will say, I did it for you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the knower of everything, he knows what our inner selves or what our thoughts tell our awareness. Like the thoughts, the 70,000, however many thousand thoughts that we have a day, which are picked up by our awareness. Like even that little conversation between your inner thoughts, these thoughts and your awareness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is fully aware of. So he'll say, kadhabt, you are a liar. You learn and you study so that people can call you, they can say, look how knowledgeable he is. Look at how many followers he has. Look at how many people love him, in the sense of came to love him in look how many, so that he learns, so that people can say these things about them, so that he can be praised, that he can. So then we have to really assess it. So if something which looks noble outwardly, but inwardly could be eternal damnation or internal or spiritual corruption, then it's really important that we assess and deeply assess and then try to inline that with the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the tongue of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. So here is so there's something I don't know how aware we may all be of biphasic sleep, which is segmented sleep, which is called divided sleep. So in 2016, 2010, I think some of the early studies were done in 2010, they're rediscovering, scientists and sleep experts, they're discovering that, you know what, we need to sleep, as it was known that the daily recommended amount of sleep is 8 hours. And then they say, it's more or it's better for us, for our health, for our creativity, and for our productivity, in most cases, that we divide our sleep into 2. So this is where they're called biphasic sleep, or segmented sleep, or divided sleep. And what that is someone sleeping in the early afternoon, in the early evening, and then wakening in the middle of the night, engaging in something creative. So here's a lot of the times where writers would write many books. So there's even a writer who did an article for The Guardian, Peter Pathanasiou, I think. So he did an article on The Guardian, and he says that there is extensive research showing that humans have historically slept this way, which is this segmented sleep. And he said it's called the Dorville, which is a French. It's the word created and influenced by the French, which refers to this transit period between 2 sleeps, a moment of creativity. He says people often read, write, prayed, and visited neighbors. Conception was even believed to be more likely between the 2 sleeps. The change came in the late 19th century. So he's saying that, and his thought as to why, or his possible theory as to why we stopped doing it, and that our ancestral lineage or our ancestors would always sleep in segmented sleep for those reasons. But then once we reached the time of Thomas Edison, that we've suddenly stopped sleeping because the lights and electricity which were invented, so people would stay awake further or longer at night, and ruining the possibility or impacting the possibility of having segmented sleep. Segmented sleep only can be productive or useful when there's early sleep. So within our Islamic tradition, the Prophet ﷺ said it's disliked to even talk after Isha. So we have the sunset prayer, Maghrib, and then after Maghrib by a couple of hours, right now it's around 7, 8, just around 8, just before 8, which is the Isha prayer, which is the night prayer, or the not the night prayer, it's the evening prayer. After the evening prayer, within the schools of thought, it is disliked to talk. And what's that time for? Is to have whatever last moments of Asha that you will have, or last moments of food, something that can keep you throughout the night, and then avoiding talking and going into chats, and then going to sleep, and then waking up 4 hours, 5 hours later for prayer. So in this time, so even we know that if anyone here knows or has studied, memorized, or anyone listening has memorized the Quran, or have children who are memorizing the Quran, the golden advice that you can receive is that the child, or you, or whoever it is that's memorizing the Quran, wakes up after one portion of sleep, and wakes up after one portion of sleep, and then prays Fajr in the time of Fajr, and then recites the Quran. Inna Quran al-Fajr kana mashhuda. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises the Quran recited in the time of Fajr, or in the early morning, where there's a lot of spiritual blessings and gifts which is given in that time for a person who's awake, engaging in that which benefits them, which causes them spiritual enlightenment, prayer, worship, meditation, remembrance, recitation. So they say it's called segmented sleep. And then the second portion of sleep doesn't necessarily have to be as long as the first one. So then they can say that one section, it starts off at the 14th or the Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad, that it can be 5-6 hours at night, and then it can, and the second part of it would be maybe a nap during the day. And inshallah we'll continue shortly after the break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
मिनहाज वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन में आपका अतिया जिंदगी की उम्मीद, आपकी मदद से मुमकिन हुआ दुनिया भर में 30 लाख से ज्यादा खवातीन, बुजुर्गों और बच्चों तक साफ पानी की फ्राहमी, मुतासरा इलाकों में हंगामी इमदाद, यतीम और बेसहारा बच्चों की दादरसी। इस साल हम आपके ताउन से और आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं। अपनी ज़कात, सदकात और खैरात के जरिए इन मंसूबों का हिस्सा बनिए। अभी कॉल कीजिए 0300 3030 777 या हमारी वेबसाइट विजिट करें www.minhajwelfare.org.
Here at Duncan Lewis Solicitors, we specialise in immigration and family law. We have a proven track record of successful applicants who we've helped secure permanent residency for. From spouse visas to seeking asylum, our expert advisors will assist you throughout the whole application process. We offer a free no obligation consultation, so call us now on 0208 432 3350. That's 0208 432 3350, or visit us at 298 Romford Road, London, E79HD.
People of Asian and Black ethnic origin are at an increased risk of COVID-19. Queen Mary University London has launched a research study called Covidence UK to find out why this is. If you are Black or Asian, we need your help to complete our studies. All you need to do is complete an online survey. Please help us to understand the coronavirus disease so we can develop tools to prevent it. Sign up at qmul.ac.uk/Covidence. Sign up and save lives.
If you want to advertise your business on Revive FM, then visit www.revivefm.co.uk. Alternatively, contact our sales team now on 079 44 56 5616. That's 079 44 56 5616.
The new NHS COVID-19 app immediately shows me the risk of coronavirus in my area, so I can warn Mel.
It lets me quickly check into venues with a QR scanner, so I can protect Alid.
It tells me fast if I've been in contact with other app users who have coronavirus, so I can alert Emma.
It helps me protect all my loved ones, even Auntie Sue. The more of us who get the app, the better we can control coronavirus. Protect your loved ones.
Get the NHS COVID-19 app.
Download now at Google Play or the App Store.
Hello, I'm Ria from the Windrush Help Team. If you came to the UK before the end of 1988 and are struggling to prove your legal status, I could help. You may also be entitled to compensation. I'm here to answer your questions and talk you through the application process. Anything you tell us will be treated sensitively and won't be passed on to immigration enforcement. Visit gov.uk/Windrush Help Team.
The Windrush Help Team, here to support you and your family.
Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences provides quality Islamic education for children aged between 5 and 15 years old. As well as teaching classical Islam, including Tajweed, Fiqh, Seerah and Aqidah, we endeavour to equip children with essential Islamic manners, morals and values. Here at MSIS, our experienced teachers create an inspirational learning environment where we strive to cater for the needs of every child. For enrolment inquiries, inquire in person at Minhaj School of Islamic Sciences, Monday to Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. at 292-296 Romford Road, or email admin.edu_London@minhajuk.org.
Revive FM
94.0. On the radio.
on your mobile.
And online.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're listening to Revive FM 94.0 with your host Hassan Shah. So we were just discussing biphasic sleep, which is segmenting or dividing your sleep into two and finding within that moment or in between sleeps to be a very productive time. And a time where people have, in our modern times, people have chosen to adopt this method of sleep to wake up, and they find that once they've awoken, that their level of creativity, their productivity significantly increases. And as mentioned before, we were going through an article on The Guardian where the individual says, well, he's an author, and he mentions that more constructively, nighttime is the quietest time. And so for me, as a writer, it is a time when I'm most productive. The whole world is asleep. My stories peek around the corner, check that the coast is clear, and I gradually creep onto the page. I was comforted to find that many writers feel the same about segmented sleep, that the waking period in the depths of the night is a golden time for creativity. There's a unique intimacy during the Dorville, which is that moment, a hushed tranquility and peace. It's almost a confessional between you and the page. So here we have, and within our tradition, that those moments of the night where someone wakes up and engages in prayer is a person guaranteed acceptance for anything that they pray for. We know that Imam Shafi'i said, had it not been for that moment in the night, I would not have loved, and he was one of the greatest authors in our history and the greatest thinkers and of the jurisprudence and the grammarian, Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi alayh, may Allah bestow his mercy upon him. Said, had it not been for that night or prayer at night, I would not have wished to remain on this world. I would have, like, his whole pleasure of this world became a make at that night. There's times where the Prophet ﷺ would find his household, someone sleeping after Fajr, just that moment after Fajr, or the sunrise just in that time. And then he would wake them up and then he would say, go seek your rizq. This is the time where the rizq are given. And Umar bin al-Khattab had a very strong stance against finding people sleeping in that time. So, and we know that the hadith where the tradition narrated and compiled by the companions and the muhaddithun, the Prophet ﷺ says that Allah descends to the first heaven in that moments of the night, and he asks, is there anyone seeking forgiveness that I can forgive? Is there anyone who needs something that I can grant them what they need? Is there anyone seeking my mercy that I can have mercy upon? Is there anyone? And anyone who's awake at that time seeking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is accepted. And you would find it within the locality of where we studied, which is in southern Yemen, that the children would be made, or the children would wake up. They would even have their fair portion of segmented sleep, which is their parents would wake them up in those short moments before Fajr and before the sun rises. And then they would, of course, be criticized for that. And they'll say, I'd rather than be awake and play with toys in that time. They would actually just give them a toy. They just want in that time where they or the parent would be asking Allah that Allah gazes upon them and accepts them for their child. So he brings the child awake, gives the child a toy to play with. And this is adopted by many families. They give a child toys to play with at that time. And then they would ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they will be in prayer for themselves and for their family and for their kids and for their offspring. And then once it's finished and they've prayed Fajr, they prayed the morning prayer or the sunrise prayer, and then the children will go back to sleep. And whether the parents would go and continue to seek their livelihoods, and that would be their decision, or they would remain awake at that time. Either way, segmented sleep comes as a very highly productive adaptation to sleep, where many people seek it and find a lot of good adapting that method of sleep. And another article would state that that the only thing or the only problem with segmented sleep is that there's not enough studies in it. It says that a person who's biphasic, a person can have biphasic sleep scheduled in a couple of ways, taking afternoon naps. So if you sleep maybe 5-6 hours and take a 20-minute nap, that's also counted as biphasic sleep. And qaylula within our Islamic tradition, it's sleeping any time after the sun has risen, not sunrise where it's still dark, but when the sun has risen and it's daytime, all the way to when the sun reaches its highest point. In that moment, we are rewarded for taking a nap. And of course, the times that we are in where it deeply impacts this path or this method of taking a nap during the day, even if it's a 20-minute nap, even if it's a 1-minute nap. This is the biphasic manner is the closest to the Sharia, to the way of the time, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and there has come to you a great example in the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam, and the sleeping method adapted by the Messenger of Allah was that he would, by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is that he would sleep biphasically, and he would sleep on his right in the original in the actual CPR type of sleep pattern, where we put people in that position who are on the floor so that they aren't harmed. And this is what the Prophet ﷺ would teach his companions to sleep in 1,400 years ago. He would ﷺ take a nap during the day, and to sort of give a boost in that energy. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He would wake up between these two sleeps, and he would stand in prayer for a very long time, and he would ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to a point where his wife would say, Ya Rasulullah, you're the messenger of Allah, you have been guaranteed paradise, why are you troubling yourself and standing in prayer till your feet start swelling? And he's like, should I not be a grateful slave to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So his standing up, قُمِ اللَّيْلَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا, his prayer at night, or this amount of prayer, was out of his gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and in hopes for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for his ummah, for his followers. He would engage in productivity at that time. Prophet ﷺ, he would, when waking up, that Prophet ﷺ would keep a toothbrush next to him, so that once they wake up, immediately he had the oral hygiene, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that would be one wash, or he would brush his teeth when he wakes up. And then once we wake up,